Hello, hello, and welcome. We are back. It is Trucking Answers, and we are back here through your eye hole today. It's Monday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome, everybody. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. Hey, we got some stuff that's going on here. Werner gets an SEC fine. Yeah, that's right. He got a little bit of a fine. There's some snow in the Northwest. Coldest temperatures in 100 years. It's 61 here at World Headquarters. They're going to review the sentence of that driver in Colorado. All right, and so that's going to be good. Joshy's going to leave the FMCSA. Yes, she just got there. They were just going to appoint her, and she goes, you know what? I'm out of here. Deuces. And out she went. And so stocks, some fuel, crypto, all that kind of stuff, everything that's going on. We're going to see what's happening in your side of the world. And so let's get to it. Let's get to it. We've been off doing Christmassy things, Festivus things. I found all the tinsel to be quite distracting over the holiday, so we're back with that. So first the other day was Million Miler, and I appreciate that. Oh yeah, in early on that one. George H.W. Bush first on my screen today. Hello, Glitter Sparkle is here today. Joan Harper, hello. It's good to see you. James Morrow's here today. Paul Cruz, Flat Highways here. DQ's out of chili dogs. Who eats food at a DQ? Yikes. Always had burnt food, I always thought. Kelly Patterson, good. Hello, back to Denver. Oh, that's a great day to be in Denver. Better than the West Coast, I'd say. Better off on the east side. Trucker, she's stuck on Flagstaff light. Load wind gust of 60. Yeah, I'd be parked for 60 miles an hour. We're parking. Paul Cruz, hello there. Let's see. I'm still, load from Toledo to San Francisco. Wow, Trucker Hershey, never been to California. Welcome. The good news, you can poop right on the sidewalk there, so that's pretty convenient. It's very nice of them to allow you to do it. Join in one of the raiding crews. You can get in maybe one of the Gucci stores or something up there and get yourself a nice bag, something like that. Pretty nice. You can just join in. They don't care who it is. That's pretty awesome in San Francisco. Also, go see the Transamerica Pyramid Building. That's the building always featured at the beginning of the Dirty Harry movies. And when I was in California, I went there and touched it. I don't know why. It just meant something to me watching all the Dirty Harry movies. It's the one where you can see the elevator tubes come out the top of the building because the building goes to a point at the top. It's from Transamerica Insurance. I don't know if they still own the building. That's still what I call it. What I still call the building in Chicago, the Sears Tower. So there you go. So if they don't like it, too bad. So there. And I see that you've got a chart. Do they give you a chart over there and say at these wind speeds you can't drive? That's pretty interesting. John M., I'm coming up to I-10. Cab over Pete with a reefer in front of me. Yeah, exactly. Holy mackerel. Acceleration Rules, the gang is here. Yeah, we are back. It's ready to for another nice work week, and we're ready now for the long winter because that's it till Memorial Day. Dispatch told me to come to the yard Chicago around 10, night train in the morning, and be a preloaded trailer. 11:30, no trailer. That's right. Tell them, look, I'm going to go back home, and you can let me know when it's here. Otherwise, tell them I'm starting my log. Because this kind of thing, look, they know if the trailer's there or not. Johnny Sacco, Happy New Year's. Yeah, almost, right? We are just about there. It's almost another year. Can you believe it? Creature 937 is here. Merry Christmas. Boy, Merry Christmas, everybody. Jim, Tim, Kim. Freezing rain in Ohio really must be further north because it's super warm here. And we have no snow in the forecast through the 3rd of January. So that's pretty good. And I'm liking that. Joe is here. John Zay Black is here. All right. 20 seconds early. I'll try to get in on time. Alexandra, hello. Mr. Mark, hope you're having a wonderful Monday. And you too. Yes, doing great over here. Super warm. Leaving the coat at home today. Doing great. Muck Fodell off again. The holiday. Some people take this whole week off. Should be a good day of parking. I will tell you, as I look every year as I travel around Christmas, the most trucks I saw yesterday was Prime again. Prime. Many Prime trucks. 4-1 of all the other trucks on the road. Lots of Prime trucks. Is that because they can't make their payment? Prime just has a lot of loads over the holidays. They don't get you home. I don't know why. There were more than any. I always check it. Well, John's happy holidays. Glad Festivus is over. It stresses you out. I know there's a lot of things I got stressed out. I'm glad I was able to tell people about them. It's terrible when the wiener's bigger than the bun. That is a problem for some people. No salute, no judgment, of course. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Cooper Adventures starring Huckleberry Hound. Get trucking. Yeah, let's get back on the road. A few hours, right. In just a few hours. That'll be so exciting. Chris D, hello. Chris D, hello. Mark, Mrs. and Gracie. Gracie was just out here biting me a minute ago. I don't know where she went off to. I'm in her chair, I think. That's the problem. I-70 driver is getting much needed attention. I didn't know not using a runaway ramp was illegal. Well, it's illegal in the fact that he killed some people. Here's the problem, right? It's 4 or 6. I don't know how many people died, all right? I don't want to disrespect them or anything. I just don't know the number of that. In Nebraska, here's another example of why a 110-year sentence is bad. In Nebraska, a driver from distracted driving, wasn't watching the road. Accident, killed 2 people, a 7-year-old and a 51-year-old, and injured 4 people. He's getting a misdemeanor. 1 year and $1,000 is the maximum sentence. 1 misdemeanor. So that's why 110 years for that is a little bit excessive, especially when there are other people to blame. Landline put out a great article about that driver, that he's just a victim of the system, and I agree with that. Right? What are the training requirements to get your CDL at the moment? Right? 0, actually. You can just go test. If you can bring a truck down there, you can test and get it. They commented about what it takes to become a barber in Texas, where he got his license, 1,000 hours. 1,000 hours of training. So I thought, well, I'll see how much it is to become a barber in Indiana. 1,500 hours of classroom training, including facial features, structure, skeletal, dermatology, chemistry. All right. Before you're allowed to take the test. And, of course, to get a truck license, nothing. That's why it's a problem. Get a lump of coal for Christmas? No, I'm rich. Well, you can sell that now, right, to power a Tesla. That's pretty good. JL Travels, good morning. Mark Trucker Chump, buy silver. All right, let's get that big sack of those 1963 quarters they sell at the coin store. My first company I drove for said if you use a runaway truck ramp, you'd be fired. That is true, Joe. Probably they would fire you. Although I think that, I'd make a complaint, a whistleblower complaint saying it's a safety thing. Yeah, they'll fire you because you damaged the truck. Sometimes it totals the truck. You're better doing that than killing people. I will say that. I always say, look, I'm going to do this before I kill somebody. Got my hot tub low. We're headed to eastern Tennessee. All right. That's pretty good. That's where, bring them up here. We're going to need them pretty soon. Misha Patton, good morning, Mark. Good morning. How's it going? Joshy probably left for this bonus. Mira Joshy's leaving the FMCSA. She's going to become a deputy mayor of New York City. Ooh, and they probably do have a sign-on bonus up there. Who knows what it is? We'd be live broadcasting from the manhole on New Year's Eve. They're going to have a big, ball slide down the pole there at the manhole, so you can see that as it comes down there. That'll be pretty exciting. They do that every year. Pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the week off work. I'm having lunch right now with a lifelong friend of my dad's who I haven't seen since I was 2. That's pretty good, right? Keep your friends your whole life if you can. Connections, right? That's what's important, isn't it? Lobster and steak all weekend. Wow, we know where the money is. The wind gusts go faster than Prime. Yeah, they were going slow. I will tell you, they were going in the 50s, but I noticed there were a lot of them. And I thought, well, here's another Prime. I mean, I don't go that far, so... George Costanza, hey, what's going on? Just got, that's right, I forgot to change that. Okay. So got to the Constantine this morning at 7:55, 8 a.m. appointment time. Oh, you made it. They're closed. The truck stopped, so we're stuck till tomorrow. Really? In Chicopee, Mass? Who's closed today? Why are they closed today? I guess today's their Christmas. Nice. I hope they pay you for that. I mean, that's a carrier problem, to be honest with you. They should give you something for that. Something. Or, otherwise they owe you a favor. Trucker coach and their expert. Let's go, Brandon. Biden does agree. And, he's the nation's driver as well, a truck driver, so he's going to solve all these problems. Texans love their DQ. I always thought the same thing about the food. The food at a brazier, which is what they used to be called when I was a kid, as they say, back in my day when you whippersnappers, used to be called a DQ brazier store. Those are the ones that had food beyond ice cream. I think they all have food now, don't they? I don't really eat at DQ, so, but the food at the stores, the brazier stores, it was not great. Charburgers is which I think they called them that. They tasted like that. they cook them right on the coals, so not great. Fries, not great. I don't think that's that great of food. San Francisco has the building falling over. It's only leaning. It's not exactly falling over yet, although I would walk on the other side of it. I still have the leftover turkey wieners from Thanksgiving. Those things stay good for years. You can eat them as long as you can eat a Twinkie. For Christmas, my student and I were at the 205 on I-81 in Rafine at the Petro. All right. George said I got Instant Pot for myself for Christmas. Well, okay. Made a delicious pot roast for my student, another mountain driver. That's pretty good. All right. So we know where to go. If we see you parked somewhere, we know we're going to have some food going on. Coach's Twisted Mud Flap Service. It'd be nice to Sleepy Joe, says the media. Yeah, hey, come on now. They go, hey, come on. He knows. And it's some part of the infrastructure bill. We're going to send $2 million to DeClambury, Louisiana for climate resiliency. That's infrastructure. So that's nice. I have a few of those. Good morning. Is this the end of the year special with the fireworks and dancers? There'll be dancers. That's for sure. Roger Moore. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Fire H doing a 34 at a rust stop in Ohio. That's not dramatic. Why not at like a truck stop or something? Unless it's on the throughway, right? Is it up there on the pike? Then I'm okay with it. But gosh, not at a rest area. You didn't go live for Christmas. How about New Year's? No, I was at family's house, and there were a lot of people there, so no lives. And they had music playing, which is a problem on a live show. I can't say, listen, all you people who listen to music, shut the heck up. Right, so that's not right. It was Christmas. I figured everybody be with their families. We could talk about a New Year's show. If people want a New Year's show, that'd be different. My hot tub load only weighs 6,000 pounds. Talk about a light load. I hope they're upside down or something. I would hate to see those hot tubs. I've seen pools, like with the pool side going forward. I thought, that's going to catch a lot of wind, isn't it? Wimpy McPote, man, with a million excuses. Happy for a great Christmas. Beautiful weather. It was super nice. One of the warmest Christmases we've had here. And they said it's actually the latest first snowfall in Chicago. Hasn't snowed yet, a measurable snow. Last time was December 20th. So pretty interesting about that, because I go up to Griffith, which is up in the Chicago area, as we would call it, near Gary. I thought I saw Mark at Meyer last week, but there's no way he's taller than me, Flat Highway. I was at Meyer. If you're there on Sunday, I'm there. So come on out. I park over by the superchargers because I don't want people scratching my car. And I'm at Meyer by 7 a.m. Usually I'm at Meyer on Sunday morning. So come on in. I'll say hello. Absolutely. We'll go walk around Meyer and do some shopping. This Sunday, it was busy. So I hope if you were there, you were one of the people that was getting it busy. You were not getting busy in there, maybe, but it was busy at Meyer. George Costanza. That's kids say that. Well, thank you very much. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. That's a good one, too. And a Happy New Year. Don't be a ghost. Tip your host. Well, I appreciate that. We should bring back the Crap Company of the Year. Someone has to challenge and dethrone CRST. Could they? Is there a way to do that, though? I mean, it's almost impossible, especially with their pay raises now. So over at that place, they'll probably sue any company that dethrones them. Say, this is our title. Hey, goodness, thank you very much. Hello, have you ever heard of the over-the-road truckers who are also multi-level marketers? Yeah, you get a lot of those emails. Here's a question mark also. Do you need some laundry detergent? So, yeah, there are some of those, absolutely. That's for Amway, for people that don't remember that. If you remember Amway. Let's see. And so I lost my spot, of course. You thought 100-car pop in Wisconsin? Yeah, mostly trucks. I did talk about that. Only good thing about winter is reduced orange barrels. Not many, though. They're still out in some places. Better living through chemistry. Yeah, apparently better haircuts through chemistry. Be careful using escape ramp. You got to look out for the people sledding. Oh, my God. Get off the ramp if you're sledding. Boy, that'd be pretty scary with a truck coming up there. Hello from cloudy Alabama, chicken hauler. Hey, what's happening? It's still chickens to haul, I assume, year-round. Oh, I thought they would have balls sliding down the pole. Yeah, oh, sure. They have a big pole there, and they slide balls down there at midnight. And, yeah, it's very dramatic. They make a big deal about New Year's, It's a hands-on kind of place for the decoration, so they've been doing that. Remember, free DOT physicals there as well. They have volunteers to get physicals, which is pretty nice. People come in, give the physicals. Roger Moore, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. So go get your free DOT physical at the manhole. Everybody's welcome down there. Spent my Christmas weekend at home with pay. Took my wife to Texas de Brazil. All right, J Trucking, that's good. That's the way to do it. Always get paid holidays if you can do it. My DQ brazier is located in my local A&W. Oh, so you have the split one. The A&W here is split with Long John Silver's. So you can get the Admiral's Feast, but the DQ here, they have their own stores. Yeah. Is it still called a brazier store? Is it still a brazier store? I like to roast a pot. We can't be doing that. I was surprised how Santa came in the manhole to deliver gifts. It was pretty dramatic. He came out of that whole fireplace all black and everything, yeah, from what's in there of disaster. Prime and Sierra England, always the slowest trucks on the road. I don't know why England slows down. I do see those cruising around. Biden is the second best president we've had in the last 100 days. He's doing a good job out there. Getting the infrastructure going and everything, he's got to keep that stuff moving. Paul Cruz, thank you very much. Hello, Mark, here's a couple of gallons of fuel for you, buddy. Thanks for you. I appreciate it. That'll last me a couple of weeks, probably, of gas. It's so for me, so I appreciate that. The Sonic appreciates it. It will be over there soon. It'll be my last fill-up of the year. I want a New Year's show, Joan Harper. Yeah, we could do New Year's. I'm not going anywhere on New Year's. But, there's 25 people in a small place with the TV on and that. You all be quiet and turn off the TV and that. And they're like, who's this guy think he is? Right? So, just ordered my tickets for the Mid-America Truck Show. Been to the one in Walcott. Would be my first time at Mid-America. James Morrow. Well, if it goes off, come on down and say hello. What day are you going to be there at the show? Biden won. He did win. That is correct. Trump did not win. We do know that. Trucker Coach Tire Expert putting snow tires on the side car today. Nothing but Hankook. Okay, look, every winter tire probably is better than any all season tire. The Firestones I got were on sale. Okay, you couldn't beat them. They couldn't even beat me at the place that matches prices. They refused to match my price because they were 3 years old. So that was on the site. They go, look, these tires are 3 years dated. They've been inside. And because I put so few miles on my car, I'm like, I'm in for these tires. So got them at a huge discount. And so Tire Rack, very good. Recommend it. Be sure to check with places first if you go to Tire Rack to see if they'll actually install your tires. Otherwise, it's a great deal. I see Chicago is so dangerous, even snow stays away. Well, they're looking for FBI help now. The mayor came out and said, I need help from the FBI. So she actually did say that. So if I can get home, me and my nephew are going to set a bunch of fireworks off at 9 p.m. Really? Okay, all right. That'll get the new year going, right? Oh, on your wife's car? Good. Yeah, like keep her out of the snow on the side's car. I wonder if that was your car or whatever. All right, Hankook's okay too. Whatever we can get on a discount. For me, I don't need a high mileage tire, certainly. And most winter tires do not have a miles guarantee on them. Yeah, Kelly, do you have any videos of cooking with an Instant Pot? You should do some Instant Pot videos. I heard the driver that got 110 years was offered a plea deal. I don't know. I don't know if they offered a plea. I'm surprised if they didn't offer a plea to start with, to be honest with you, because normally they would plea this stuff out. Peter Evans, goodness, everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate it today. Did they plea it? They didn't announce that they had any plea. I assume that they would offer some plea. But I don't know. If they think they have enough evidence, sometimes they'll take you to court and just say, no, we're not going to give you a plea deal. So, I don't know. They're going to go 20 to 30 now. They said they're going to offer. That's what the prosecutor wants now, only because of the petition. Oh, and Kim Kardashian come out of the woodwork and was horrified by it as well. So, that's good. Everyone in the family bugging me to cut my hair. Now you mentioned truckers go, well, look, it's not their hair. It's on the get bent. Okay, you don't have to live for them, right? Like the grassroots, right? We live for today. So, Indiana DOT took my cooler full of snowballs since I can't have weapons in the truck. They go, get those out of here. You're saving them for summer. Paul Cruz, Merry Christmas. The manhole raised my blood pressure. John Zablak, yes, it can sometimes in there, and that's the problem. You go to get your physical, and then your blood pressure gets all raised up, and so that's a problem in there too. Fortunately, they can take you in a back room and take care of that, and then, they let you lay down or whatever, and then they take your physical after a few minutes, so that's pretty nice of them. Whenever you're voting for Biden, he said he will run again, just so we know, even though we're not doing too much politics, but he did come out and say that. Did you hear about the 20-car pileup in Nevada? No, but there was another pileup, too, that they talked about. I did have something about that. There have been a couple of pileups this last week. I didn't see one in Nevada. I did see, like, Donner has got a problem right now. 80. Seattle's all red on the map. 94's closed in North Dakota due to a blizzard warning from Bismarck to Fargo. That was closed on the map. A lot of it is red up there otherwise. They have winds to 45 miles an hour. They're expecting 5-foot snow drifts. They said they won't plow it. They're just going to stay off the road. So that's a problem. I'll cover the Werner fiasco situation on my channel tonight. Jail Travels. He gave me more content to cover my channel. Thank you very much. Yeah, Werner, Clarence, the founder of Werner, he's got a little SEC problem. Okay, I didn't know this because I don't deal in stock in these levels, but once you have an investment apparently of $100 million, and you make certain purchases, you have to file some kind of SEC forms because it can affect the way the company works. So what happened, according to the article, is that he bought some stock and didn't file the right forms, and then did it again, I guess, and didn't file these forms. And so they told him, this is how it was written in there, hey, when you do this, you got to file these forms. And then he did some more purchases and didn't do the forms. That's why they fined him. They go, look, you can't do this. $100 million is the threshold. All right, so he's got to pay a $500,000 fine because of that clearance. So, but if you're dealing with $100 million of stock, you can pay a $500,000 fine. Apparently, I don't know. They said, look, his attorney should have told him or whatever. I kind of agree. I thought, well, maybe he just does this himself, but I don't know. That's a lot of money. You'd think you'd have an attorney at least advise you on things. No idea. He's paying his SEC fine. Many manufacturers, places we service are closed this week and next week. Wow. Repairing equipment. They also have a 2-week shutdown around the 4th. Holy mackerel. No wonder nobody can get anything done. Tommy Cash, get them back to work. They're off for 2 weeks. They better pay everybody. Paul Vines, happy Monday, everyone. Hey, happy Monday. My girlfriend and I will be there on Saturday, James Merrill. All right, well, I'll be out there walking around on Saturday. For sure, at least Saturday, maybe Friday and Saturday. But I will be there all day Saturday. It should be a blast. Come out and aggravate some of the companies in the recruiting room. Chicago was safer when Capone was running the show, Paul Vines. That's true. That is actually very true. You were much less likely to get shot on the road than you are today. Our tire rack has a test track near South Bend, William Thurman. Yeah, because tire rack's in South Bend. It's right there. You can see it off the toll road, I think. And if you actually are in the area and order from them, if you pick your tires up there, you save money. So you save $10 to $20 a tire, depends on the size of the tire. Worth it if you're in the area. Thought about it because there's the RV museums in Elkhart that I wanted to go to, but I just never went to it and just had the tires delivered here. Don't drive anything without Rain-X on the windshield. Exactly. All windshields should be Rain-X'd and waxed. I wax them. When you wax the car, wax the windshield. All glass, everything gets waxed. All of it. Dude does need time, but 110 years is crazy. Yeah, when this person here killed 2 people, it gets a misdemeanor. 1 misdemeanor. And max sentence is going to be a year in Nebraska or a $1,000 fine or both. Okay, and this guy gets 110 years. That's way high when the problem is him, but not just him. You know, the state, his company, all that is to blame. Can't just be him. American Tire bought out Tire Rack. Hope the Tire Rack will still support grassroots racing like before and tire shaving. Fred Zeppelin. I don't know. I didn't know that. I got these last year. I had them put on last summer. The guy at Discount Tire argued with me about it. Because I was in there like in August getting them put on. And he's like, these are winter tires. I go, yeah, I know. Well, we don't normally put these on in August. I go, well, I'm not normal. Put them on. Well, it's warm out. I go, listen, I already paid for the installation. Put the tires on the car. So he gave me a bunch of grief about it. I don't mind the swelling, but I hate the hitching. That's why I say go and ask the place first so you don't have to go argue with them. The cars from the gangster era were tremendous. They're better than some today. There was a big pileup in the manhole Christmas Day. Yeah. That's why it's closed the day after holidays for cleaning. Fred Zeppelin, Vegas was a better place when the mob ran it. Most of the cities were. As long as you were okay with the mob, they didn't give you any grief. I live right off Donner Pass. It was down yesterday. I think they have plans to open I-80 by noon today. Yeah, it showed like super red and a couple of blank spots, meaning there's no traffic moving at all. So I can assume if they open it, you might have to have chains on. Check in advance. Be sure to check by the time you get to Sparks. Check. Or coming up from San Francisco. Check before you head out in the area. What do you know about Estes? What have other drivers said? I don't know that much about Estes. So I don't see too many drivers because I don't get too many emails from local drivers. If you see a Pepsi Blue Challenger driving around town, that's me. I'm at the car wash behind Meyer every day. The car wash behind Meyer. Pop Wash. Yeah, that's where I have my unlimited wash. Get the unlimited plan there at Pop Wash if that's the car wash you're talking about. I have the unlimited plan. That's where I wash all the time. I'm in there forever washing the car. So Absolutely. And Blue Challenger, there are a number of Blue Challengers. But yeah, absolutely. Pop Wash? Hey, you might see me at Pop Wash. I was in there this Sunday as usual. Anytime the Escape goes out, it goes to Pop Wash. Jesus' name above all names. All right, check out the Michelin Cross Climate 2. They sound amazing for any winter. Yeah, they're an all weather tire, not an all. So there's summer tires, right? 3-season, all season tires, which are no season tires. There are these all weather tires, which are a new kind of tire in the United States, and then there's winter tires. So they're more of a winter than a summer tire, but you can keep them on all year, cross climate tires. Maybe I'll talk more about those on the podcast, because I have an automotive section about the difference in tire types. I do recommend those if you do a lot of miles and are going to keep the tires on. Like, since I do so few miles, I keep these winter tires on year round. But I wouldn't recommend them for summer use. They get pretty soft in the summertime, I'll tell you that. Did you hear that Center Freight Employees have filed lawsuits against the company for back wages? Yes, they did, and I'm with them. They are owed forward wages. How about that? The WARN Act, the Worker Adjustment Retraining and Notification Act, says you can't close down like that without giving everybody 60 days notice or 60 days of pay. So because they didn't get their pay, they are lawsuit. And I agree. At least get in there and let a court figure out if you're going to get that 60 days. There's all kinds of ways out of it, but absolutely. That kind of thing a lawyer probably would take on contingency. You should check with an attorney or get in on that if you work there. I totally agree. They can't just close. You can't just close a huge company. They had 20 or 30 terminals or something without knowing. They don't just wake up, you know what, let's just close today. I mean, there's got to be time. For months, they didn't pay their leases on place. They didn't renew leases. They knew all this was going to happen. Like they said last week. They made their bed, let them die. Season is a lie. Truckers Jump, agree. All season is no season. They're only partially good at some things. They're not good at any one thing. Michelin makes great tires for those that can afford to shop in the upper price bracket. Get your mind right to shop in the upper price bracket. I love it. Michelin's are upper price bracket tires. The tires are some of the most important things you put in your car. That's the only point of contact with the road. We can't cheap out on tires. What are the light things on the side of the Indiana Tow Road? What light things on the side of the Indiana Tow Road? Doesn't wax on glass act weird in cold weather? Crying with Cooper. No, it doesn't seem to. I've always waxed my glass, for many years. It works like Rain-X all around the car. So wax it and buff it. And the windshield gets Rain-X'd. Do you know anything about Hogan? Are they a good company? Doug Barlow. I see Hogan ads all the time because they're real big in Indianapolis. They're like one of these things that does stuff in every city. So like they're advertising $95,000 a year here, home every other day. I just saw that ad today. They have local jobs. They have Class B jobs. They have all kinds of jobs. So you'd have to call them and see what they're doing near you to see if what you want to do is something that they have available for you. Perhaps mandatory minimum sentences should be rethought. Well, maybe, but look, the judge said that driver in that accident was a mandatory minimum sentence, but then how can they reconsider the sentence? If that's the mandatory minimum, there's no reconsideration of that, right? It's just a mandatory minimum, so I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what they say about that. The problem with no mandatory minimum is then people walk on things they should get some sentencing for. Crying with Cooper. Wax my car twice a year with McGuire's. Do the windows, but not late in the year. Windows become cloudy with wax. I haven't any issue, but I'll take your word for that. I got changed from a pickup in case it snows in Oklahoma. I'd get winter tires if I still lived in Maine. Look, it always says chains or winter tires, and they are unstoppable. If it snows at all, you need them. George Wilson, hello everyone, had a good Christmas. Hope everyone did. Yes, that was super good. Peace is good for business, of course. It's very good for business. War seemed to be good for business in this country. Did you do a review of the electric Ford truck? Jeff Bezos used them on his ranch. How? They just came out. Somebody's already got one? No, I haven't even seen one yet. I haven't even found a Maverick out there yet. So I got to wait until I can find one somewhere. I didn't know they sold them yet. Estes Model Rockets are cool. Vernon and his wife are still alive. That's awesome. Estes. All season equals no season. People put these all seasons on, and they're just not great at anything, really. If anything, you should switch. If you're going to do a lot of miles, get winter and summer tires. Switch them. Otherwise, these cross climates, these all-weather tires would be a good choice for people. I'm leaving Central California for Dallas, Texas. Anyone know how I-40 is? How's I-40 over Flagstaff? Might go down to 10. Wow. I don't know. If you got time, I'd go down to 10. It's probably warmer. I'm just hanging on for the ride today. Hey, Mark, do you think 10-cent race is asking too much for 3 months out at a time? Wow. Something outdoors. 3 months out is long anymore. And look, never underestimate your worth or whatever. Always go in and ask, because ask for more than you want and you can always come down. Anything is, what if they say no? You're right where you are now. So no. Go in and ask. Absolutely. We got to stop thinking that we shouldn't ask for more money or ask for whatever. Go in and ask them. All right, absolutely. Hey, say, look, 25 cents. And then you can come down to 10 cents. I don't know what's worse, 110 years in prison or 10 years in Sierra England. What is the difference? I would say, what's the difference? Like they interviewed a team. This was an article about team driving. And one of the teams said, look, prisoners get more room than we get in here. That's something. And that is true. Trucker Hershey, you got a heavy load, Fred? Wind gusts in Flagstaff to 60. Ooh, that's pretty tough. 60 would be parking me, I think. Unless I was completely full, 70,000 plus. Jim leaves snow tires on all year. Wife won't tolerate the tire sensor light on. The light doesn't bother me. See, I put them on my rims. So there's the sensor was already in the rim, so no tire light. And you can have the tire light turned off, by the way. All you got to do is plug in the computer and have them turned off. So you can do those yourself through an OBD thing, or you can have a place do it. That light can be turned off, because without that, when that light is on, the car won't remote start. If there's any dash light on, the car won't start. And so we can't have that. I can't get into a cold car. AKAFU, hey, howdy from Ohio. What's going on? Buckeyes, meaning the candy. I have a fifth point of contact, which is my trailer right wiring harness, dragging over the railroad track at speed bumps. I don't believe it's rated all season. Yikes. Let's get that thing up off the railroad tracks. Daycare your jammer. I wanted Michelin's, but the ones I wanted were on 6-week back order, so I'm trying Cooper's. All right, well, J-Truck, if they're not there, there's nothing you can do about it. You got to get what they have. Tire Rack does have a large selection of tires, which is pretty nice. And I think it says in there how many they have of each tire. When you go on the site, it'll say so many left. Or they had 5 of the tires I had. How do they get one extra tire? Who buys one tire? Hello, great one. Well, I don't know about that, but thank you very much, Tony 5000. Do you use the same wax in your windshield that you use in the manhole? No, that is not. That's not food safe, as they say, because you don't want. No, use a different wax for that. For the waxing program at the manhole, and that made me lose my spot. Yikes. Even if you buy 2 sets of sensors, you can only program 4 at a time. Yeah, but you only need sensors if you're not using the same rims. So I just mounted them on the car. I don't have separate winter rims. I mounted them on my regular rims, so the sensors didn't go anywhere. The tire pressure thing, no change in that. That's for people that change rims. Some people do that. They'll get Steelies for the winter, but I'm not about that. Trucker Hershey hates Cooper tires. Yikes. CRST truck school is time enough. It's enough for some people. Combination Estes driver named Chuck has his own channel. He's in Tulsa. He's real positive. Trucking through life. George Wilson. I'll tell you this. If you work somewhere, though, think about this. And you're saying, I work for X company or whatever, your videos are pretty much going to have to be positive or you're going to get fired. So, I mean, seriously. You're not going to be able to complain about a company you work for because they're going to see it and fire you. So, your videos would have to be positive, I think. That doesn't mean they're not true. But I think the only videos that are going to be shown from someone that currently works at a company are absolutely positive videos. I hate Dunlop tires. I don't know if I've ever had Dun flops, as they say. Hello from Beckley. Way to rally. 56 degrees. Oh, are you at the Tomahawk Travel Plaza? Tomahawk, whatever the heck that is. Take 10 to Dallas. Wow, that's going to be some extra miles. I've seen one of those Maverick pickups. It's kind of silly looking, but I think it's a good idea, Roger Moore. It seemed small in the videos, but I haven't seen one in person. Every time I go over there isn't one there. And I actually got an oil change last week, and I was asking them about it. I always wander up front there. They're like, oh, we had one, and it sold like in 15 minutes or whatever. So I still have yet to see one in person. The WARN Act fines $500 per day that the WARN Act law is violated. Jail travels. Yes, but the problem is the WARN Act gives companies a bunch of outs where it say, well, if unforeseen circumstances or business circumstances, and so the company's going to say, oh, well, we were trying to make it and just couldn't do it and just finally had to close, and that's how they get out of this. The WARN Act has no bite to it. Fred Zeppelin Coopers are decent and much cheaper to buy. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Never used a set of chains in my 20 years. Always felt like if the roads are closed, the chain law's in effect, it's bedtime at a truck stop or a safe spot. I think it's way safer. People pulling over in the side of this snowy road, trying to throw chains on. Half the people have never put them on. Look, if you're going to put chains on, go practice right now where it's dry so you can learn how to do it also. You're not going to want to practice in the bad weather. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Happy Monday. Hey, what's going on? Nice out today, isn't it? Worst new car feature, tire sensors and start-stop. Who wants to buy a starter every year? The start-stop's not required. The sensors are required. 08. Those are required. I think it was 08 the tire sensors went into effect. So all cars have to have that. Start-stops is ridiculous. I agree. I turned mine off. There's a button on the Escape. The Sonic doesn't have it. Every time I get in and turn it off. Most cars you can have a button, or if you put it in sport mode in most cars, it doesn't. The start stop also doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, I did try it when we got it, and around town it's starting and stopping all the time. You go across town, the car turns off 12 times. I thought, well, this is not a great idea. Sorry, he has the Rivian electric truck. That was Ford. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen one of those either. No dealers around, so I don't know where I'd ever see one of those. I think there's only one dealer in the whole country. That's the problem with Rivian. But look, the Ford, I hear you, right? The Ford electric truck also. I still haven't seen one of those. Maverick, can't find one. I got a lot of vehicles I'm trying to find. I drive around and try to find them. Can't find them. This week got a Tornado. I found that Tornado, so that was pretty good. Buy snow tires in the summer, available and cheaper. Jim, that's when I got mine in August. But just getting them put on was a real problem because I'm arguing with the guy. Look, I paid my money. Put them on the car. Oh, we don't normally do this. Oh, all right, well. I'm looking around, too. This is like nobody's out. I'm just me there. I'm like, well, you got something better to do you can do right now? Just put them on my car. On the tire issue, everybody just remember someday you will own Generals. They were actually General, no, actually it had tiger paws on it. That's what it had, Uniroyals. We have Estes in the Northeast. They seem to run day cabs. I see, but they have a lot of sleepers that run, too, don't they? I've seen sleepers for them. Hey, Schuster Trucking is here today. Hey, now. Hey, what's happening? Did you get out of the snow up there? I buy everything off season. I'm buying shorts about now. Yeah. Right now, time to buy all the Christmas wrapping for next year, right? You want fire? They just get your miles to 1,000. Oh, that's even better. That's better than firing you, probably, is not giving you enough miles and you quit. Then they don't have to pay you unemployment. I just think that, if you're going to do a bunch of videos with your company saying everything about your company, it's going to have to be positive or the company's going to be on the phone to you in about 10 minutes. New RAV4 uses 0W16. That's right. That is true. Can't even see it on the stick like water. Yeah, Toyotas have their own weight of oil for some reason. A lot of Toyotas use the 0W16 oil, which is kind of a special weight. Not 0W20 like everybody else, right? 0W16. You can see it on the stick. It's like water. Yeah, it's thin. That's how they get better fuel mileage. And the tolerances, they say, are so tight in there, they got to keep this oil really, really thin. I agree. Right. Toyotas, they have their own oil filters, too. So, special filter. Applied at Ruan for over the road. Carson Street Trucking. Also, what are your thoughts on XPO? I don't know about Hirschbach. XPO might not be a bad deal, right? Ruan, I worked at Ruan years ago for 3M. They run out of here. The closest thing they do to me here is milk out of, can't think of the name of that place, right north of me here, the milk place. Right. For some reason it has escaped me. Anyhow, that's what they do here. They do a lot of different stuff around the country, so absolutely. My company won't let us chain up. We have to shut down, a.k.a. that's good. I mean, that's the safest thing to do. You probably just carry chains, but they want you to stop. I agree. Start-stop is now required. Is it the law? I don't know about that. I don't know if it's a law. What they were doing it to, which I'll find out for the podcast, was to save fuel. But I didn't find that it saved much fuel. So, heard some dealers are asking up to $20,000 over for new generation Toyota Tundras. A lot of cars are getting over sticker right now. And that is a true story. Never pay over sticker. Not just the Tundra, but a lot of new cars. Dealers are asking over sticker price. That is true. And some people are paying it. They said that's the same thing as happening on the Mach-E, Ford's electric vehicle. Some of them are way over sticker. Do not do that. Jesus' name above all names. Carson Street Ruan is management heavy, much like Schneider. Once any company gets too big, it becomes management heavy. So what I'm trying to do is just run at night so I don't have to interact with management. And since the truck hasn't been giving me any problems lately, I haven't had to gripe at them lately. And they're probably appreciative of that. New Tundra is dual turbo V6. That's true. They went to all new setup. The whole thing's basically brand new. If you can find one, good luck finding one. The old one got pretty poor fuel mileage. J Trucking. I bought an aftermarket deal to disable the start-stop in my F-150. Very easy to install. And I don't have to keep hitting the button. That's one way to do it. You can run that F-150 in sport mode. Also, that's another way to do it. And I've seen this aftermarket thing, but it's like $100, right? $99 or something. Wasn't worth it to me when I could just hit the button. So, but absolutely. Most chain manufacturers have a demonstration video on YouTube. I recorded mine to my smartphone as a reminder. That's true. You can do it. You can, but watching a video and practicing a few times when it's dry, different. So I recommend get out there, practice at least a couple times while it's dry. Because when it's snowing and you're on a chain pull-off area and putting these chains on, it's way different than you trying to do it when it's dry out. And Mark and Jerry Moyes refuses to pay Central Freight employees their wages, jail travels. Could Swift Transport fall for Moyes' mistake, plus the WARN Act fine that's not stopping until everything is settled? Well, see, he's been out of Swift for a while, though, right, Moyes? So he was over at Central, so who knows how this will go. I actually don't think they're going to have to pay the WARN thing. Most companies, when it comes to this and they get sued over that, they either pay only a very small percentage of it or none of it. They'll say, because they get this exemption that says if unforeseen circumstances don't allow you to give notice, then you don't have to give a notice. And so all the company basically says, well, we had no idea that we're going to close. And then they get out of it or pay 10% of it or whatever. So unfortunately, I don't think the drivers are going to get it. I wish they would. Al Johns, I used to work in a tire warehouse slinging the tires. Then I got a job delivering them over the circle of life. What do you think about the trailer? And I've delivered tires before for Goodyear. And what do you think about the trailer? I always thought it smelled really good in the trailer. I don't know why. And what I would do is just bounce the tires and let them roll out the back of the trailer. Once you get good at that, you can get a tire load unloaded pretty quickly. I don't know if I could do it at the moment. It's been some time. But you just let them bounce and roll right out, and there's people out there to catch them. Yeah, I think it worked pretty good. That is like the circle of life, too. It's like somebody would hold you out the back of the trailer, right? And then Elton John would sing. Ball slide at the manhole auditions next year. Oh, everybody is welcome to slide down the ball slide at the manhole for New Year's. It's a real festive thing there. Ford Lightning comes out this year, summer 2022. I won't get mine. Did you order one? Sorry, you wanted. They have a ton of orders for them, for sure. What are winter tires? Are I guess 76. You're banned for that. What are winter tires? Do they still, does your car have heated seats too? Does that aggravate you down there? Would the starter go bad quicker? Al Johns? I think it would. I mean, it started at least 10 or 12 times driving it around town where it wouldn't have done that. So imagine an extra 12 starts a day on your car. I think it goes out way faster. It's only got so many starts in it. Now, they all say, oh, no, it doesn't go out or whatever, but, that's just what I think on it. It gets a different battery, too. The start-stop gets an AGM battery in the vehicles, so that makes the battery more expensive. Isn't that nice of them? I want to find some double coin rubber for my Mercedes. Oh, nice. Double coins. I haven't seen those in a while. Wow. You'll have to order those and wait on Wish, I think. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Fleet Nav Systems. Yeah, how did it go up there? It was great. See family and everything. I think the wife and I were the only two with a vaccine in the house, so that worked out pretty good too. Hopefully we won't die, but I don't think we will. Tons of people there. 20 people probably at some point. 22 people. All ages. People I don't see that much. Rains every day in Florida. Snow tires are awesome in the rain. They help, but it's too warm there for winter tires, as I call them, winter tires, because they're so soft. I drove these around in the summer in 90 degrees. They're really soft. I mean, they're really squishy, so I wouldn't drive them any distance in the summertime. They're just too soft. Starting to flurry here in the northeast, 8 miles to New York City, heading south. Yikes. They did say that the northeast was going to get some snow, but if you're headed south, you got it made. Always wax your slide pole. It'll be waxed and sanitized between uses there for that night. Start-stop feature requires heavy-duty battery, and ultra big price increase when replacement is required. The battery's an AGM battery. That is true. Advanced glass mat battery, and the battery's more money, of course. So it can run that. So if you don't use it, it should last, the starter in that should last the whole life of the vehicle. I would think, because you're really not using it. It's Mr. Plow. It's Super Chat. I appreciate it, Mr. Plow. Thank you very much. We're going to need you eventually on the in this winter. Have you noticed milk trucks are going faster these days? One blink and they're pasteurized. Well, Doggy's nice. If somebody got a joke book for Christmas, Corvette sticker like 68, lucky if you can buy one for 100. Truck Hershey, that Corvette that I saw a couple of weeks ago used was 96, I think. 96, 98 used. I'm like, that's 30 over new. Are you kidding me? There's no way I would buy. I would order one and wait before I'd buy a used one like that, especially one from Canada. Not that there's anything wrong with poutine, right? I'm just saying the car was originally registered in Canada. So that bothers me warranty-wise, stuff like that. So fuel guys in Colorado running 70 chains up multiple times a day. Look, they expect it and they're getting paid extra to do it, I hope. You're smelling new tire rubber in a closed trailer, explains. Yeah, you know, you open the doors and when you're in there, you have to, at least a Goodyear, you were unloading the tires yourself. So you'd pull in and just unload. They got 100 tires. Next place got 100. And you'd get through the whole trailer. And it smelled, I don't know, it smelled pretty good in there. But, you know, I've delivered tobacco and I thought that smelled really good too. And I thought, why does it smell so good here but not great in my Tiparillos? I don't understand. I deliver truck tires with Gemini to Love stores. It's not as hard as you might think. It's better than car tires. Oh, is that because they're bigger? Are they already set up on their side maybe and roll better or something? Car tires weren't too bad. Once you got the hang of the pattern of how you did it, you could bounce them and they'd roll out. So I don't know if you do the same way at Gemini. Can somebody catch them on the other end? That wasn't too bad then. Bouncing tires out trailers was almost as terrible as unloading Family Dollar. All those make me die of a heart attack. It was many years ago, so I could do more work without dying of a heart attack then. Once you seem to get a thing down and you could bounce, you lay one tire down and bounce it off the end of that tire and it goes shooting out the trailer, and you pretty much had it made. The tire smell was awesome. I'll never forget that smell. I know, it smells so good in there. I'm like, boy, this is really great. I mean, why don't cigarettes smell like this? Oh, right, got to head out soon. Hope you have a nice New Year. We'll plan to catch you next week, next year. All right, thanks, Fleet Nav Systems. It's good to see you here today. No snow in the forecast for either of us, so that's really good. I'm still waiting. I'm happy about that, too. What's the manhole? Is that a gay club? Dan, what are you talking about? The manhole is open to everyone. It's Lafayette's premier nightclub in downtown Lafayette. Entrance in the rear. Come on down and see us sometime. They need to make a little tree air freshener for new tire smell. That's true. I mean, they have new car smell, which doesn't smell like a new car, but they should have one that smells like tires. You know, where's Goodyear on this? I unload lots of double crap tires. They're the number one seller for trailers at Love's. Are they? All right. You know, I saw that sign at the Petro for tires, and it had like 2 drives for, you know, they're $189 a piece or something, you know, recaps, I think they were. I thought, wow, those are cheap. That is cheap for a truck tire. I love the smell of burning rubber. Oh, yeah, I never did smell that in the trailer. They make white walls. Get some white walls for the sport. Yeah, I'll get some white walls on there. Those, I can't think of them now, right? Trump has the biggest manhole. He's never been there, although he's invited. Regular vets are ZR1 vets. Regular ones aren't worth that much. The one I saw was a 1LT Corvette, just a Stingray, and it was used. It was 5 months old, originally purchased in Canada, but it made it to a car lot here. And that used lot that I was on there, 80% of their cars are from Canada. I don't know what they do, and then they register them in Arkansas, and then they're brought here. So there's something to it. I don't know what they're doing there. And that's another one. But it was 30 over sticker of a new one, and it's 5 months old. And it had, I don't know, 8,000 miles or something. I didn't like it. I wouldn't have bought it that way. Didn't know it's illegal to use the slip inside the manhole. Is it? Well, they've got these specific regulations. I'm thinking we're going to have winter past March. I'm thinking no. I declared already to the wife that if it made it past Christmas, it wouldn't snow all winter. So I think we got it made. Would you like to see the OEMs extend the defrost setting for the windshields all the way to the corners? On a semi, yeah. I don't know why they don't defrost all the edge of the windshields. I agree. Yes, I totally agree. The windshield should be heated. Truck tires are stacked up to 10 high. Get the stack to fall and roll them to the shop guys. They put them away. All right, so you just roll them out the back. I think that's the way to do it. I think that's a lot easier too. But they're okay. So they're 10. They bounce off and you roll them out. Dan, first rule for the manholes, we don't talk about the manhole. Truck or Hershey, you can only get in with a special handshake. Hopefully that's all that got raced up at the manhole. Be sure to be down there for New Year's, the great big New Year's explosion there. I did tires, and it was way easier than Family Dollar. Was it? So there's a lot of stuff at Family Dollar. I think some of that stuff gets heavy, like a 6-pack of Clorox and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty heavy to put in there at the $1.25 store. Because remember, they raised their price January 1st. If you didn't hear that, Dollar Tree is no longer Dollar Tree. It is $1.25 Tree. All things in there are up 25%. So, which is not these stores. I'm just saying. Nothing like the smell of men enjoying themselves at the manhole. Absolutely. I mean, everybody's welcome. I like to see a defrost vent on the pillar of my semis. Why doesn't it defrost to the edges of the windshield? Because then your stupid windshield wiper freezes, which should also be heated. So if they can do all this stuff on a car, there's no reason they shouldn't be able to do it on a semi. European cars have had these kind of defrosters and heaters all along, right? So, I don't know why it isn't done on a semi. Oh, well, trucks, when do they drive in the snow? They certainly don't need that kind of stuff. I'm sure that's what they're saying somewhere. Absolutely. Like we never go in the snow or anything. If I wanted to burn tires in this 2-liter Focus, I would need a match and some gasoline or gravel. I'd turn off the traction control and head over into the gravel. It'll do it. At the manhole, it's not a secret handshake. It's a ham shake. Very good. Anyways, everyone is going down at the manhole. It's a lot of stuff going down there. Being paid by the hour makes my job much easier, J Trucking, doesn't it? So that you know you're getting paid. Isn't that something? If people only knew they were going to get paid for all their time, they would have less of a problem doing stuff. January 7th, the Supreme Court will be reviewing the lawsuits brought by the ATA and many others for the vaccine mandate. So now we'll probably get the little thing under the video. But that's okay. It's a legitimate news story. The first of the punishments for companies will be January 10th. And so Supreme Court is going to review it January 7th and decide if they're going to continue if they're going to put a stay on it or not. So we'll watch that on the 7th of January, 3 days before everything starts to go into effect. Keep that in mind as we get into next year. You heard the Paul Cruz, the manhole. I don't know about that. I mean, pretty nice place. JL Travels, just got my check settlement for my company. First paycheck was $1,400, and in 3 days my next paycheck is going to be $1,300. I'm with an awesome company. That's pretty awesome. $2,700 in a few days. I mean, that's the way to do it. If you drop a tire, it doesn't break or spill. Yeah, if you drop that load of that thing of Clorox, you got a problem. You drop a tire, it just bounces around in the trailer, knocks you over. If you don't do it right out the back of it, that is true. And when they're stacked in there, they sit there pretty good. At least at Goodyear, because you picked up loaded trailers, they had stacked them across back and forth, and they sat there really good. They'd put a piece of cardboard in between the different stops. The manhole offers the biggest roller wheel in the country. You can't beat the price. Yeah, even bigger than the world's biggest thermometer. Alexander was on the phone with the wife. All right. Well, what's going on back there? I got to tell people not to call when there's important things happening. I got another settlement check for class action and PAM at $105. What do they do now? What, is there another class action? They have so many I can't even keep track of them. What'd you get $105 for? That seems like not a lot of money. That's I'd buy all PAM merchandise with it or something. Loves also makes their own recaps at 7 plants. Some offer a lifetime warranty. Oh my gosh, how great would that be? I was just thinking, for $189, that's less than the tire on a car for some cars, depending on what you're buying. So I thought this is really not a bad price. My buddy's been on a waiting list for his astrophysics telescope for 20 years. Finally got the call. They're ready to build his telescope. All right, we're ready to go. They're like, sorry, passed away 7 years ago. Paul Cruz, yes, exactly. Aren't drivers exempt from OSHA? Well, here's what they actually said. They said, well, you're in the truck, you are regulated by the DOT, but as soon as you're out of the truck, you'd be regulated by OSHA. That's how they explained it. So while you're in the truck, you are exempt from it, but like on a dock, doing work, that's all OSHA. So you'd have to be kept safe at work other than driving. That's why we get into trouble. Like, are drivers exempt? Are they not exempt? A court needs to rule on it and say exactly who has to do what, so we know. It can't be this nebulous thing. But they said, well, you're driving? Yeah, exempt. But working, you are not exempt. So they have to keep you safe other than driving. That's the problem. And that's why the Supreme Court is going to go January 7th. You can't beat the Wieners at Costco. We don't have a Costco. Isn't that a problem? Would love to go to a woman hole in downtown Indy. Free drinks before 9:30. All right. They have a woman hole down there? I haven't been down there. See, I just stay up here. She's run 4,100 miles this week, making about 10K this week. 4,100 miles. That's a huge week. Wow. That must be like COVID loads, or you must just time it out perfect. I think that's possible, but you got to have some perfect timing and like no waiting time. Or you're that person that creeps around the truck stop off duty or whatever, so that you don't have to run your hours out. But 4,100 is probably close to what you could legally do. I think it could be done legally, or just a bunch of COVID loads. So that's no problem. Are you at the same company too? I mean, that'd be great if they went into the same place for, then you can like compete against each other. So that's snow. Okay. All right. Lincoln, Nebraska. Oh, $20 million, by the way, from the new bill. $20 million will go to Portsmouth, Virginia for offshore wind farming. That's part of infrastructure too. So $20 million to offshore wind farming. That's pretty good. Visa Solutions. Remember them? Yeah, they had a 100% increase in the amount of requests from companies. So that's pretty good news. 100%. What does Visa Solutions do? Well, they bring people in from other countries, mainly South Africa, but also other European countries, Visa Solutions. And you can pay them if you're a corporation, and they'll help you bring people here to do work for your companies when you can't get anyone to do it. So companies, rather than paying you or anyone else extra money, would rather pay a company to bring someone here from another country to do the job. Visa Solutions. I get half-price royal wieners and footlongs at Subway and Lowe's. All right. Do you have a membership card or something? The manhole offers the jab, but it's not the one you're thinking. You can get any kind of jab you want there. That's pretty convenient. Given by the same people that give the free DOT physicals. I creeped a traffic jam in Chicago a few weeks ago and saved 2 hours on my clock. If you creep them at the right time or you're stuck, you can get your 30-minute break in a traffic jam. Not that you're supposed to, of course. But, yeah, depending on the jam, you can get a lot more miles done. That's true. That is true. Al John, lizards? I don't know what we're saying here. You can go 19 miles an hour with yard movement. Is there a mile per hour limit? That must be a company thing. I don't think there's a mile per hour limit legally on it. I think you put yourself on yard move, and then you don't, because we've had a couple drivers here get in trouble because they'll go on yard move somewhere and then forget to take themselves off a yard move because you have to put it on manually. And then they'll come back and they've been on yard move for like 7 hours and drove 200 miles or whatever. And so that's a real problem. So I think that's that's your company thing. This may be gay, but I'd rather go to the woman hole, Al Johns. I don't know there was a woman hole in Indy. There may be one. I haven't checked into that one. We should see if they'll sponsor the show. I think that person means those animal detection sensors. Oh, that's right. All right. The animals, yes, supposedly, right, when a deer crosses or it reads wildlife on the side of the road on the Indiana Toll Road, these sensors light up and says deer nearby or whatever. And so you see the sensors on, maybe it doesn't say anything now. Then it has spotted a deer in the last so many minutes, it has broken a sensor, beam near those sensors. That's right. The deer sensors. I don't know how accurate they are or how long they stay on. I guess if they're on, I'd be looking around. What do they want people to do, though? Go 20 miles an hour? I mean, how about we put things over the road so deer don't have to cross the road and then block the road off so they have to use these crossovers? I think that'd be better and keep them so they don't get killed and keep them away from our vehicles. So that'd be a great way to do it. No, it's my Love's employee discount. Oh, okay. All right. So they're already on sale, 2 for $3.33, and then you get a discount beyond it. Can you get Love's points too? Oh, what if you got Love's points for all those tires? Days are getting longer. Spring is getting closer. Wimpy McBoat. Oh, that is exactly true. Shortest day of the year was last week. We are already, can you feel it? Can you feel the light already? Our yard move changed to driving at 20. All right. It's a local. I think that's your company doing that, though. I don't think there's an actual speed limit on it. A yard can mean a lot of different things. It doesn't mean you can only go 20. Yards might be really big. Lots of pretty women in Indy. Like to pick them up at Walmart. Right, I guess. I'm just admire to shop. Okay, so do you listen to Road Dog Trucking on Sirius XM? I do, in the car, yes. Hey, Mark, I finally pulled the trigger on Mountain Truck Lines on my second week of training. Jose, all right, we have a mountain driver on here a lot, so what do you think about the place over there? Pretty good? They moved that to $100 tarp, which is always amazing. Our yard move kicks into drive mode at 20 automatically. All right, well, maybe I'll put it on the back row and see what happens. Just take down the deer crossing signs and the deer won't cross. Yeah, how do they know to cross at those signs? I didn't know they knew English. I wish Fleet Nav Systems was still here. I'd ask them about that. Oklahoma likes tornadoes more than wieners. Get it? Tornadoes. Oh, right. Got it, Doe. Time to sue the ATA, John. No, let's get them. They're finally on our side on this, so they're part of the action with the Supreme Court on driver's side of all things. So they're with us on this one, finally. They're finally on the right side of something. There were 5 or 6 dead deer along I-22 this morning. That's too bad. I wish we could get them over the road in some other way so we don't have to keep killing them. Good morning, Americans. Hey, good morning, Truckers for Trump, America. All right, Arizona's Bighorn Sheep Crossing just south of the Hoover Dam. Can we get them over the road? I've seen these road things that go over the road. Can we do that? Get these large and small animals really over the road, and so we don't have to keep running them over. I think they'd like it, and we'd like it. So you should see the lights that come on at the manhole when a woman walks in. Yeah, yikes. When did the woman hole change its name from the Pink Taco? Well, I don't know that it's the same place. See, I didn't know there was a woman hole in Indianapolis, so it may be a different place. Dan, hello from Motown. Hey, what's going on up there today? Are you by the large Uniroyal tire, J Trucking? Nope, I'm not allowed to have a Love's card. Had to spend $200 worth before it started. I'm just saying, imagine the points you'd get. 4,000 tires or whatever, right? 7,000 gallons of fuel. I'm just saying. The Tickle, Pickle, and Rock Springs should team up with the manhole and combo business the woman hole. It could be an excellent business plan. They ought to all get together. That's the thing. These places they don't know about each other. Maybe we got a deal here we can do with them. Our yard move automatically switches to driving at 20. Maybe that's a thing. I don't think it's in the regulations that there's some kind of speed limit on it. Because yards, you can really get cruising in the back of a yard. Wimpy McPoatman with a million excuses. Must have been 200 deer grazing last week on 71 and 65 South Cincy. Look, I don't mind them grazing. Let's wall the road off. Okay, let's build a wall along the road and then just have overpasses or an underpass that they can get through to the other side without getting on the road. I think that'd be a better solution. Make all things go up over this overpass. I get half off a lot lizards at the West Memphis Loves and Petro. Well, the good thing about that is you can get there now that the bridge opened back up. Now we got this bridge thing fixed. That was always a big problem. Some of these people were having to apply for PPP loans down there. The Bighorn Sheep Crossing or bridges over the road. Yeah, let's get them over or under the road. One of the two at certain points where they generally gather and wall the road off so that they don't cross the road. It saves their life, which is good. And it saves our cars and trucks, which is also good. So I'm in. And you'd think insurance companies would like that. That way they wouldn't have to pay to fix everybody's car and truck. Thought the woman hole was called the Blue Oyster. Right. I don't know. There's all these different places in Indianapolis, so I'm not sure. Most yards have a 50-mile-an-hour limit anyway. Well, they do have a limit. Spotters don't seem to follow it. So do we have to follow it? I'm going to, if I can remember, I'm going to put on yard move and go in the back row. This is a big yard because they do have a 15-mile-an-hour limit. But we'll get cruising down the back row and see if it switches back over, if I can remember to do it. Because I never do it there. I don't go in yard move. Even though you could, I don't normally do it. So on Interstate 90 in Washington, they have a wildlife overpass. Kelly, they only have one though, right? I've only seen a few of these things. These overpasses. Let's build a lot of them and put a bunch of fences up and get the wildlife off the road. Get big ones. Get, a bison over the road and everything else. Get gigantic ones. I don't even have a yard move option on my Geotab or PCR manager says we don't need it. It is a trucking thing. They don't have to let you use it. We don't get PC. I'm not allowed to They said, look, if you want to go somewhere, take your car. That's what they tell us. They go, this truck is for business use only. You don't get to PC it anywhere you feel like. But they do have a yard move on Geotab here. So I'm going to see if it works. And if your manager says you don't need it, I guess you don't need it. Considering where you deliver, you'd be able to use your yard move a lot, I think. Spotter limit is 95. Yeah, I know. They kick in that high gear on the spotters and just get cruising. And then if you go 16 miles an hour, they're telling on you. Oh, did you see that driver going 16? Oh, he almost hit me while I was going 83. You can't have walls on the road under the present administration. I'm only trying to keep out the deer. Okay, so not where it has that family crossing sign like I've seen in El Paso on the road, where it's got like people dragging themselves across the street, right, crazy. I just want to keep the deer off the road. Yard moving PC's up to the company, Trucker Hershey. Yeah, they don't give us PC. They said, look, take your own car or take a cab. We're not letting you use our truck to go shopping. Is a double-legged amputee loud lizard half off? Depends what you... So it's $250 only? I love how grown-up people stay 12 years old. So glad I found Pull My Finger in Huntsville, Kentucky. Paul Cruz. Where is that? Is that another restaurant type of thing? I don't know. I haven't. Maybe they could all get up. We could all meet these together and have like some kind of franchise agreement. There was another article about pay, which I found quite interesting, that the average driver in 1980 made $110, and it was 40% unionized truckers. 40%. Today it is 10.1% union, and according to this, the average road driver made $47,540. Now, I don't know if that's true. It's only $900 a week. So, but remember, even though people on here are making more, there are people starting making $500 a week. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Wondered if there might be a correlation between those two things. It's difficult for the panhandlers at the Loves in West Memphis. All the help wanted signs are killing their business. It doesn't seem to. There's a guy that's been at Meijer for years. He stands at the corner of Meijer by their gas station, which is on the main road, State Road 26 on Meijer. He has a sign, need work, hungry, and he's been there for years. The gas station right there, Meijer gas station, has a sign that faces him that says help wanted. So it doesn't seem to deter him, and I watched him before, and people do give him money. So even though he's standing in front of a place that's hiring, and on the other side of the street, he has a White Castle, there's a Dairy Queen. No, it's some coffee. Starbucks is there. The other side of the street, if he goes down the street a little bit, has a Cracker Barrel. So there are places to work in the area. Meijer itself, he can go work in there. He can go down the street. There's a bunch of motels. It doesn't seem to deter him. He's been there for years. Only in good weather, though. So, you can't be out there in a bad weather. You'd think he'd go out there in bad weather. That's what I would do. Oh, it's in Bucksnort. That's actually a city, too. The ports in L.A. and Long Beach are like a figure eight race. Although there's a speed limit, people drive 25 miles an hour, which is fast considering every intersection is blind. I know you just go through it, right? Hope for the best. The faster you go, the less time you're in the intersection to get hit. That's how I figure it. Trucker Hershey, we use PC when over the road on 1234 to go shopping. Yes, you could. Here they go, tough. Take a cab. Don't take our truck. That's what they would tell you here. They'd say, you want to go shopping? Go right ahead. Take a cab. Walk, because they say you're not using our truck for anything on your own, for your own uses. So, yeah, but sure, bro, the road, they should let you do that. Save them time. But then they have to pay fuel. They don't like that. No legs. Hey, $250. I made $250. We don't need it is because since the public has access to the stores, it's really not legal to use Yard Move, and I never go to any other customers as I don't have backhauls. Right, because you're your own place. But that makes it better for you, too. You don't have to go sit around and pick up a bunch of weird stuff somewhere. So no problems. Food service route drivers include pop and beer are salary. Food service route drivers, including pop and beer. Are they? I mean, when I worked for RC Cola, it wasn't a salary. It was commission. You made a little bit an hour, $3 an hour or something, plus commissions. So every case was like, here's 1/10 of a penny. And then a case of 2 liters might be 4/10 of a penny. And then this was a 1/2 cent to deliver these. And then this was 2 cents for this. That's how they did it when I worked at RC. That was a while ago. You were considered commissioned sales. Even though you had nothing to do with the sales. They gave you what you're going to deliver. That was it. Holding a sign has great business hours and yet another great long-term business plan and no taxes. Well, no, I'm Paul, I'm sure he pays taxes on the money that he gets, right? I mean, he certainly files for that. Truckers for Trump. America happening right now in my truck, and another driver, I think he's Mexican, came to my truck to attack me for no reason. I don't know him or his name. Really? Call the police. I hate it out west here. As soon as I park, people walk up to your truck asking for money. Today, someone knocked on the door, asked for money. Really? That hasn't happened in a long time. Where is it? Just at a truck stop, somebody's walking up asking for money. Do they have the classic story? Oh, I was trying to get somewhere and I ran out of gas here at the truck stop. I just happened to run out of gas right here. If you just give me like $400, I'll be able to drive home. Those drivers are also hourly non-commissioned. They're called driver salesmen. George Wilson. That's what they considered us. It was a sales position. So, okay, 3,000, cans or, 600 cases at a dime each. You got $60 and then a half a cent for, 5 cents for these other things. Everything paid differently. At the end of the week, you'd have this whole list of stuff. They'd have to figure it all out. Absolutely. And you didn't have anything to do with the sales part of it. It's not like I can go in and finagle more sales or whatever. Kelly, Cheap Transco was right. GP Transco is really good and liberal about personal conveyance minimum wage. Yeah, Cheap Transco. Hey, Cheap Transco. We'll say that's GP Transco. I'm sitting in the truck waiting for my trailer. Honestly, what happens to people? If you're waiting for your trailer from somebody else, that's always aggravating. If you think that's bad, this past weekend, me and my wife were in Lake City, Florida. Nice weather. We saw a guy holding a sign that said he served in the tunnels of Dracula. I served in the tunnels of Dracula. Did he have a cape on? And did he turn into a bat? Did you go ask? I don't know. I don't even know if I'd go up and ask him anything. That's so weird. I wish he had a picture of that. New York is crazy. I know. Just the tolls. Kelt Rooster Travels is here. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. Happy Rolling Arena Monday. It was super great. Deer need to use their flasher lamps. I'm surprised the deer know to go up and press a button and activate the lights on the toll road. I mean, at least the deer are smart enough to do that. No mandate, just women dates. I'm just saying. We'll see what happens on January 7th, if there's any dates at all, when the Supreme Court, which in my opinion, they'll hold it at least temporarily while they decide. That's what I think will happen. They'll say, all right, look, let's hold this to decide. But who knows what they do? I mean, nobody can predict that. But I think because it's a few days away from enforcement, I think they'll say, look, let's hear arguments and hold this. That's what I think happens. But that's certainly be up to them. If they say no holding it or it goes, then we're done. It goes. Keep that in mind. I-80 over Donner still closed. I think this is like the second day. It looked bad on the map. Okay, coming out of Denver, I thought, oh, nobody's getting over that. 70 is not a great. In the wintertime, I would not use 70 unless I had to go that way. You're going to go up. And today, 80 wasn't super great, so probably down. Coming down I-69 to Indianapolis on my way to Oklahoma City. What's the traffic report? Oh, probably moving good. And 69 going the other way out of Indy, most of it is done now. So I think they're done through Martinsville, that next section. So that's probably the way to go at the moment. I think it finished. They just opened it last week. Got asked for money to help them escape an abusive relationship. At least it was one I never heard before. That's pretty clever. I'm escaping an abusive relationship with this guy, she says. So once I get money, I can leave him. That is good. Tell her to look. Let me call the police for you. I mean, that is the answer. Because say, all right, I'm going to call 911 for you right now. I'm afraid for your life. See what happens. Oh, no, don't call the police. I'm like, no, we got to call the cops. I mean, this is important. Which I think you should call the police if you're in an abusive relationship, to be honest with you. So I'll be doing a 34-hour restart. I have to fly in Jay in Denver. And probably make up a stupid. She, the homeless Campbell. What the heck is happening? It must be an Apple phone that tried to figure that out. I think Tate and Lyle owes me a check. They trained me to load tankers. Now I'm loading 25 of my company's tanks. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Tate and Lyle. They do owe you a check for that. Hey, look, if they're paying you hourly to load those things, I'd be in. Maybe we'll talk at Meyer when you come out there. We can see what's going on there. If you get out to Meyer on a Sunday. We got diesel at $3.62. $3.62 average price. Down another 2 cents. Down another 2 cents. It's only up like 70% in the last year. There's a team of 2 people that are in front of the Loves in Pueblo. Are they giving you any pamphlets from the federal government? They have the gas can and sign they need gas. They show up at 7 a.m. and leave at 4. Do they just point at the gas can? Hey, right here. Need gasoline. Also, they go, would you like any pamphlets from the federal government? You should request pamphlet 4173. I'm probably the only one that remembers that, when you could write to the government for pamphlets about basically everything. And it was right to a P.O. box, and it was always Pueblo, Colorado. How much do onion tankers make? I don't know. I don't know how many onions you could fit in there. It seems like they wouldn't come out the tube out the other end. You know, when they're coming out, they'd roll around in there or whatever. And I can imagine what it would smell like in that tanker. If you had a tanker full of onions. I mean, how long would it take to load onions into a tanker, one at a time? So don't forget I-94. It's closed in Bismarck to Fargo, North Dakota, if you're up in that area. Blizzard. There's a blizzard warning. They said they'll get 5 feet of snow drifts, and they're not going to plow because it's drifting so quickly that they're just not going to plow that part of 94. So everything will be closed up there. At least they keep steady hours, at least. That's one of the most important things, running the same hours every day for your health and safety. Mr. Crowley is here, possibly Sam Crowley. Good morning. I gave them job applications. You know, if they're at a gas station, they're probably taking applications. I think every gas station I go in has a sign, if I ever go in, which is infrequently, that says, hey, we'll come and we'll hire you. I know Meyer does. I filled up Sunday, right, from our trip, and there's a sign there, hey, why don't you come in and put an application? Thanks for the traffic report again, Beam. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Check 69 on the way south. I think they opened the southbound of 69, so you could take 69 out of Indy. You get off exit, at the J there, and it picks up as an interstate a little ways down, and then you're good all the way to Evansville. There's nothing down there, though, really. US 231 has a truck stop. Otherwise, plan on going all the way to Evansville before you stop. The same gallon small dog have been trying to get gas to go home from Albuquerque for 3 years. Must be using an eyedropper. She's poor gas mileage. You know, what are we doing for 3 years? Look, I get even being poor, right? I've been pretty poor in my life. But what are we doing for 3 years? And I think that if you walked around, especially a woman, all right, let's just be honest, she's probably likely to get more money than a man. I think you could collect enough money in a few years to get yourself out of your situation. So at that point, I would think it must pay enough where this pays more than a job. I don't know. Or are you using it for nefarious purposes? Because if you wanted to better yourself, you could at that point. There are things that will help you, you know. Here in Lafayette, you can also go to the Lafayette Urban Ministry, which is downtown. Look them up. They'll come and pick you up if you can't get there, and they'll help you. They have a place, they have a shelter and stuff like that. So the Manhole offers full service at their fuel pumps for truckers. So that's pretty nice. So not just in Oregon, too. So they'll do all the pumping for you at the Manhole. See, there's like nothing they won't do for you there. Make up a pot of stew and see if homeless in the parking lot would like to eat. Oh, you could do that. People always say they need food. You could feed them. I do think the abusive relationship one is the call to the police. Say, look, there's someone here, and you could just call the police and say there's someone here who says they're being abused. You know, it's that woman over there. Go see what the problem is. So that's a pretty good story to tell, though. I mean, that's tugs at people and are like, boy, I really want to help that person. But are you really helping? I think the police would be a better call for that person. There's really, everywhere is hiring now. So really, I don't know what your excuse is for not working. Unless getting money from people pays better than even a job. Certainly you still would have to file taxes on it. So that wouldn't be the solution, would it? Because you just file them yourself. Which I'm sure everyone does. I'm sure everyone on that does. Does your company use Visa Solutions? By the way, and that's what I wanted to ask too. Did you get home? I asked that on the podcast, which went out as a shortened version on Friday. So I still made Tuesday, Friday in the podcast. But did you get home? And if you didn't and wanted to, who's holding you out there? I didn't hear really from anybody. So did anybody not get home but wanted to get home? And their company's like, we're not getting you home for Christmas of all times. Not that you stayed out, but that, hey, I wanted to get home and they never got me home. That's what I'd really like to do. It's just to save enough money to buy a car and then insurance, then gas. Yeah, well, or if people even insure their cars anymore like that. In 3 years, you could save enough money if you're just getting money handed to you to buy a car. I've paid $200 for a car before. That's the lowest I ever paid for a car. Now there's $200 a tire on some cars. And this was not the greatest car, but it did get me around. George Wilson, when I started out with Fox River Foods, all right, back in '88, the driver said that if they were union, they were making less money hourly They said no thanks to the union. I don't know how that would work unless you have a weak union. How do you make less money hourly? Here in 1980, we have drivers making 110 and 40% were in the union. By the way, in 1980, 110,000, which I looked up in the online calculator, which they have for that, when we adjust it just for inflation over all those years, $371,047. $371,047 gross. You'd have to gross this year to make 110 in 1980. All right. I don't know how you make less in a union. That's what the company wants you to think. That's what the company. Oh, if you guys get together and demand more money, you'll make less money. And the driver's like, oh, that you're right. If we get together and ask for money, we won't get any more money. And the company's like, we can't believe this worked. Johnson's like, I told you it would work. I'm coming down from Michigan, then taking the loop over 70 West. All right, yeah, that's another way to do it, right? What about, don't go through town. What about a grape knee-high? Oh, I haven't heard of those in quite a while. Not since a machine used to dispense bottles. So that's been a while. And you open the bottle and the cap went down into that little container they had in there. A lot lizard called the cops on me for not paying her, so I called the IRS and said she's not paying taxes. That is another thing, too. If you interact with somebody, they may call the police on you. So another reason to have a camera running. Call the IRS on her. Although that's funny, that actually could happen. What's a good way to get your small fleet employer to fix his truck since they keep breaking down? I have seemed to have this issue myself. So, same old internationals in the 400,000s. Oh, 400,000s, I wish. I wish. We have a 1,000,000-mile day cab. So how do I come and give me an application? I'll come and work at your place. Might get a better truck. How do you do it? The same way I do it, which is I'm not driving this piece of junk truck till you fix it. And I take pictures of everything. I have a file. There's so many pictures, but I take a picture of everything, do everything in writing, and you just don't drive it. So I'm not driving it until you fix it. And it depends what it is. Like if the radio doesn't work, that's not required. It has to be something required. But if it's a DOT violation or unsafe, you don't drive it. That's the only solution. And 400,000, even though my sleeper has only 300 that I drive now, so we have trucks with 1 million. There's one day cab that just crossed 1 million. There's some in the sevens, high sevens. So yeah, you're doing good. But either way, it should just be safe for the road. Don't drive it. Say, I'm not driving it. Pictures, but do everything in writing. Everything's in writing. Everything. Send them a picture of what the problem. Take a video of what the problem is. This is exactly the problem. This is why it's unsafe. Because if something happens, then we use that video right there. We're going to need that proof that you told them. They have to fix it after you tell them. You might not last after union dues. That's unlikely. Most unions that I talk to, union dues are 2 hours of straight time a month. And that includes insurance. So it's likely no. So like most people pay more than, say $60 a month for insurance. So if you had free insurance and paid $60 for union dues, I think you'd do better paying the union. Does Visa Solutions pay off my credit card? Oh my gosh, Roger Bensky, that's good. We should call him. We heard about Visa Solutions. I got this big balance. What can we do about this? I wonder if they get calls like that. Pay the lizards, do not pay the lumpers. The lizards need to figure out how to make as much money as the lumpers charge. $715 per service. I think that'd be good. Because Fox drivers were salary plus commission and mileage on some routes, George Wilson. Well, it doesn't mean they wouldn't get more money. They're always thinking like, oh, it just has to be hourly or something. Well, the hourly just needs to be whatever that was plus some with raises. That's all. That's all they would have to do to figure it out. There's no reason it can't be like whatever everybody makes on the road, they could still get paid by the hour and make the same as or more money as they're getting right now. Like I said, minimum wage on 7 days is $1,700 a week for 7 days, just at minimum wage. So if you went to $10 an hour, which seems like really low, for 7 days of being in the truck, it's $2,300 or whatever. So not bad. Since most trucks have defects, they have had drivers not work when they aren't willing to drive. They've had drivers not work. Mr. Crowley. Oh, that's pretty interesting. So you got to be ready for that too. Tell them that too here. I've done that before to them. Oh, well, you can go home. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. They still got to move the load. All right, they still got to. The problem is some other driver at most places might come in. Here, we don't have any other drivers. All right, they'd have to call in some expediter or whatever because the load has to leave on time. So that's a real problem. Even so, I would still see this is a real problem. It depends how far you're going to go with it. How far are you willing to go with it, right? How far are you willing to go with it? So you take a video of it or a picture or whatever that proves the defects, send it to them. They go, you can go home. You go, if I'm not paid for this, it's going to be a problem. Because now they're forcing you to choose safety versus pay. That's the thing. If it's a big enough place, we go up the chain. How many people above the person you're talking to are they? Go right up the chain. If it's huge, big place, go right to the safety department, or we go to human resources, or you're going to have to go to the boss. Or you're going to have to drive an unsafe truck, which is not a great solution. So we can report them. It just depends what you're willing to do. How much are you willing to do? Without action, nothing's going to change. I will tell you that. Nothing changes. Alexander, my truck is 70,000 miles, and you're the first driver. That's nice. Get a truck new, and you're the only one that drives it, probably have nothing wrong with it. Imagine, if you will, this scenario. Or you get a day cab that has 1 million miles on it, that has had 100 drivers probably. Do you think it's in as great a shape as your truck? It isn't. They just are not. And that's part of the problem. And I don't mind how many miles it has on it as long as it's safe and legal for the road. And so if they got to work on it every day, that's their problem. Captain Cleaner Wiener. Oh, hello. Do the 1099 Chicago companies provide the track suits and Nike sliders? They have a deal with Adidas, I think. So they have this deal with Adidas, and they hand out suits. You choose the color, and you get your own track suit. For anything we know. And on the back, it says, greatest Windy City. Pay lizards to be lumpers, safer and better work. Caltruiser travels, yes. It would be harder work. Not harder. Wiener Volvo. TJ Jones in the Bull of the Woods. Flat Highway. When I started working at my company, offer a mini fridge, and I rejected the truck because the fridge didn't work. Wow. I think you could say, look, can you change this fridge since it doesn't work? See, that thing, though, for a mini fridge, that's a good example. That's not a DOT defect, though, right? So you could reject it, and you can always reject a truck, but the company could say, look, we're giving you a safe, legal truck for the road. That's the other side of it, a mini fridge. I would ask them to fix it, certainly. The lumper company gets $750. The lumper gets $75 to $150 a trailer. Yeah, the company keeps all the money, absolutely. But I'm seeing $700 charges, pretty regularly from people. I don't think the lumper gets it. That'd be great. Everybody'd go be a lumper. Imagine if you got $500 per trailer. You could do 3 trailers a day. Wouldn't it make great? Our fleet has one truck with a faulty fifth wheel latch. I refuse to drive it. Several guys have been fired for dropping trailers. Okay, AKA, we had this problem. I've talked about it before. We had a driver drop a trailer, and he insisted, look, I hooked it. It was hooked. And they're like, no. And so they had another trailer drop off a different truck. And so I'm like, no way, right? And so they finally looked at him. The fifth wheel had some kind of defect. And they looked at several more of them from that year. They had to take the fifth wheels off and replace the guts, the insides of them, basically rebuild them. Because the fifth wheel internals had some kind of defect. So that driver needs to go and file if he wants to, right? And the rest of you need to make sure that this thing gets fixed. Why wouldn't the company want that fixed? The liability is so huge. So people need to take pictures of this and a video of why it's defective. There needs to be proof of it. And I'd tell that place, look, you fix that, that's going to go to the hammer and the DOT and everybody else because you guys won't fix it. 10-cent bonus per mile in Chicago if you can hold the Slavic squat for at least 1 minute. The Slavic squat, that's nice. I do that when my family gets together. A lot of them are Polish or whatever, and so they do some of that stuff, and that's pretty good, the Slavic squat. I got to ask my sister-in-law about that. The truck probably smells like cigarettes and farts and despair. Believe me, it's despair. That's true. 1099 companies and flip-flops, they issue you all that so that you fit right in. The problem with the small fleet is they rely on a small shop. They have to drive the truck to its mechanic. You can drive the truck to the mechanic if you want to. I'm willing to take the truck to the shop or whatever if it's going to be fixed, unless it's like no brakes or whatever. But other than that, no. We're not delivering loads with it. And that they rely on a small shop, I mean, here's the thing. I can't give them any kind of pass on safety. It'd be like driving a car that is unsafe. It has to go to a shop to be fixed. And if it's so bad, they have to tow it. It's as simple as that. Like your car. Say your brakes went out on your car. Would you drive it to the shop because it's only 6 miles? Or would you have it towed over there? That's the thing of it. That's part of running a trucking company. It may cost money. They should have AAA for trucks, if they actually have that. Can someone please explain lumpers? Why do we pay for freight they ordered to the stores that they'll be selling? Good example, Dollar General. You know who explained lumpers the best, probably, in a video? Cash is King Trucking. Now, it's an older video, and if he's still here, maybe he can get the link to it. I can't get that at the moment. He has a video about lumpers and their fees and stuff like that. That is the place to go. It's a great video about lumpers, to be honest with you. That's why lumpers are what they are. Safety departments are too busy watching driver-facing cameras to deal with actual safety concerns. Oh, I've said that to him. Look, I've said that to him. I go, look, all you care is the camera. As long as I'm not doing anything stupid on the camera, it doesn't matter if the truck is safe or anything else, right? So here's your videos, right? These are going to go up the chain if you don't get this stuff fixed, that kind of thing. But I totally agree with you. They're so busy watching to make sure both your hands on the wheel and you're watching straight ahead. They don't care if the truck has brakes, your lights don't work. None of that matters. Just nothing on the camera. They don't want anything on the camera. Cash King has a good video on lumpers. Absolutely. Some drivers are too busy to report stuff until it falls off. John, that's why some of it doesn't get fixed. Even at the best place, if they don't know about it, they can't fix it. So some drivers got to take the initiative to take action. If nobody's willing to take action, we can't really complain that nothing gets done. It's us. Somebody's got to take action. Now, I don't know how you get despair, smoke, and farts out of a truck. It's like the funniest thing. But, you can't, that doesn't mean they can't keep the truck in good condition where everything works and it's safe and legal and clean, really. Jeff, FedEx ground line haul in Sacramento tried to get us to put on chains to go through Donner Pass to Reno last Friday. We refused and bobtailed home to Phoenix. Nice. We're done. That's interesting, too. I don't know if they can ask you to do that or not. Probably, because it's legal to ask you to do that. But the other side of it is you can say it's unsafe. So if you believe that it's unsafe, you can't be required to do anything that you think is unsafe. That would be an interesting thing to, if it came down to some kind of unemployment or a whistleblower complaint with the DOT, because the ultimate decider of who's safe would be somebody that's right there. Their argument is, look, change, we've been using change for 50 years, so that would be a good argument. Seems that I'm the only driver that has told him it's defective. Well, AK, we don't know that. Some companies, including where I am, would probably lie about it. Oh, we never heard about that. But even so, once you're notified a motor carrier that they have an issue, they have to fix it. Or they have to sign off that it doesn't need to be fixed for continued safe operation of the vehicle. Simple. So tell them, well, good, now you know. Congratulations, I'll be informing you of all the things that are wrong. I told them that. I go, so if you give me a good truck, you're much less likely to hear from me. So you never hear from me as long as I don't have truck problems. So I go, so it's in you guys' best interest to keep me in a nice truck that doesn't have issues. So you're going to have to rattle their chains. You have to. I mean, we can't just continue to not do anything. The company keeps renewing on partial year plates. Really? Well, as long as they're legal. That's a problem. That would worry me more that they're going to close. I mean, why not buy a whole year? Fifth wheel problems were from Freightliners. Yeah, that's where ours were all Freightliners. Yep. They had to change the insides of a bunch of them. A warehouse in New York City tried charging $950 to load and $500 to rework the load if they loaded it wrong. Oh, that's sweet. We do it wrong, so you got to pay. I've seen some places, even I remember this, they would give you a piece of paper and say, you write on here, on this piece of paper, where you want all the pallets. And then if they put them in that spot and you're still overloaded, when you came back, then they were going to charge a fee because they did it the way you wanted them to do it. I think that's a good idea. John, wax your tires too? Yeah, keeps all the water and stuff on the UV off of them. Just, people should do their headlights too, because wax has UV inhibitors, good wax, and that's why they turn yellow and they fade out. So it's from UV problems. I made a living for over 30 years as a rent-a driver. Chris, yeah, what's a rent-a driver? Are you working like a temp service? Is that what I'm thinking? Because we're all sort of rental drivers. Why do small companies outsource their dispatch service? It's probably cheaper. They don't have to hire dispatchers. And I think a lot of companies do that. We can rebuild it. We can make it better. Yeah, that's true. They could. Except they don't want to spend $6 million doing it. We could build it back better, too. I charge $30 to back truck into truck stops. I used to make $400 extra a week. Where's all that going on? I'll go down to the Flying J and make some money. Not Get Home is called Werner. Did somebody at Werner Were you out, wanted to get home, and did not get home for Christmas? Because I don't hear too much about that. There are lumpers in the food business because there's so much money in the food that the producers will pay for it as an added extra to the customer. All right. The Sonic drive-in is wild down here. We have a Sonic here in Lafayette on Creasy Lane for those of you that live in town. They have an inside sit-down restaurant, yes, picnic tables, drive-through, and a place to pull up and park. They bring it to you. It's the best. There is a Sonic, and in the summer, for those of you that live here, once a month they have a car show at Sonic as well. So that's pretty nice. You can go over to Sonic, park they're across from the mall. So you can park in the mall and walk over there, get your Sonic burger, walk around. Some of the waitresses are on skates there, like it used to be. So that's been pretty interesting too. See people skating around holding all this food and stuff, and get a nice car show in. So pretty great at Sonic with your shake, all these different kinds of shakes and stuff that they have. Yeah, I didn't know they had that many Sonics. I kind of thought it was a local thing around here. But if they have Sonics down there too, you run car shows, you could almost run a car show year-round down there at Sonic because it's warm all the time. Gas is $3.06 here today. $3.06 at 62 degrees. Yeah, $3.06. So we're almost down into the twos. Indianapolis is in the twos. I saw $2.87 here last week. By the way, Hammond, Indiana, of all places, $2.90 for gas. Normally it's more up there, but we're $3.06 here. And for those of you that are following Yellow Freight, is now $12.98 a share. What do you think about that? So it was $5.92 October 1st. So that would have been a pretty good deal over that amount of time. We have over doubled since October 1st. What has changed? Christmas? Maybe. They don't deliver a lot of Christmas stuff. J.B. Hunt in the area is hiring owner-operators for straight trucks. So you need a straight truck with a lift gate, and you can make $500 a day, gross, right, as an owner-operator delivering appliances and furniture to people's homes. You must have tools and a knowledge of how to install gas and electric appliances in people's houses through J.B. Hunt White Glove Home Delivery Service. I thought that was a pretty interesting way to do it. I haven't seen a J.B. Hunt logoed straight truck yet, but I don't know what it says on it. There wasn't a picture of it, so I don't know if they say anything. T.J. Jones in the Bullwood, Sonic is national. Really? I've only seen it here. I thought, oh, there must be just around here because we have one in West Lafayette, too, on the west side. So we've got two Sonics here. Paid $2.87 in Akron before I came back out last Wednesday. Yeah, under $3. Some places under $3. That's pretty good. We haven't hit that here in Lafayette anywhere, at least not a regular gas station. Maybe, Jim Bob's gas station and, pizza parlor or whatever down the street. But any place that has like regular, name brand gas is still over $3 here. Getting closer, though. Going to Hooters when I get home. Will you be there, Flat Highway? I will not be at Hooters. So Hooters is by, I don't know if there's another one. There's one by the Tippecanoe Mall here on 52. They actually have a car show in the summer. I do get to go to that. So I get to the car show, but I will not be at Hooters this weekend. I'll meet you at Hooters. We can talk over there. Regular gas in Oregon is $3.85. Well, that's because I got to pay the person to pump it in your car, which they still do, right? I think Oregon, Jersey and Oregon, last two states where you cannot pump your own gas. And so the guy comes out in the white shirt and white hat, checks your oil, pumps your gas. Yeah, top of the day to you. 500 minus diesel and overhead, you probably end up netting $250 a day, Mr. Crowley. Well, it doesn't say what you'll net. It says you'll be a successful business person partnering with J.B. Hunt by bringing your own straight truck with liftgate and delivering appliances to people's homes. I assume you also need a helper, and since you're independent, you probably got to pay them too. I don't know how you get a refrigerator into somebody's house. How do you get up a flight of stairs with a fridge? Could you do it yourself? Maybe. Some refrigerators are pretty freaking big, so I don't know how you would do that. How do you put a stove in? Stuff like that. I don't know. Especially if it's built in a wall. I don't know how you would get it up there. Possibly. It's an unbearable 77 down here. Your band, 77. Yeah, Tim, there's one here and one on the west side. So there's two of them. Two Sonics here. Sonic's 1950 retro app. Yeah, I haven't been over there since the summer because it's a drive-in. You pull up, order, they hook the thing in your car. Yeah, pretty nice. Just like it used to be. For those of you that grew up in Hammond and that, and the Blue Top Drive-In out in, I think it's in Highland, on Indianapolis Boulevard was my hangout every weekend. Big car shows there. I brought my Reliant out there and popped the hood on that, and that was pretty fun. A lot of fun. People looking at it, pointing and laughing. Regular or unleaded? Well, only unleaded now. Paid $2.74 at Walmart. Not in town here, Walmart. See, I don't get gas at Walmart. I'm not sure what kind of gas they have. I love Jim Bob's. Always cheap fuel, right? Cheap fuel and eats. It says eat and get gas here. A reefer dollies. No, Oregon is not required anymore for someone to pump gas, but offered still. Oh, so they still have full service, but you don't have to get it? I thought Oregon, it was full service only in Oregon. Maybe it's just Jersey then. What's those two states where they're like, you people just have no idea what you're doing? Just hunt it 4 hours a day. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for informative videos, Tim. Well, thank you very much for watching them. I appreciate it. And, of course, always more to come. So I hope you had a good Christmas and that you got home if you wanted to. 23 in Oregon, I know. It's 15 in Seattle this morning. 15, it's the coldest temperature in 100 years. So they said on the news. I didn't go back and look each year, but I'll believe them. I'll be at Hooters after I finish at Meijer. I went not on Sunday. They probably don't open at Hooters until like noon or whatever, right? 11 o'clock. I can't imagine I have breakfast in there. 2 temp services. Look, Transforce, I think it is in Indianapolis, is the name of the place. They're running $29 an hour plus overtime and home every day ads at a temp service. And I think that's not a bad deal. I mean, that's $2,000 a week if you work enough hours and home every day. Not bad out of Indianapolis. It's $2.50 at Dollar General's. Dollar General have gas. Why not free DEF instead of a free shower? Because the shower would probably cost less. Depending. Some people go pretty low on their DEF tank. I don't like to, but people do it. Grafton is here. Hey, what's going on? JB Hunt drivers fired when they get report getting hurt on the job. If they expect you to work 14 hours a day. I don't know how they would do that. They're totally illegal. You're allowed to report injuries without fear of retribution. So what do they just find some way to, they find a way to get rid of you or whatever? That's an instant report to the state. We got to stop sitting back and taking this. As soon as something like that happens, report every company that does that. If they fired, you have nothing to lose. Go report them. Report them everywhere. Report them to the Better Business Bureau, right? Report them to your mom. Report everywhere. Anybody you can. But seriously, report them to the state. Go file for unemployment immediately. Report them to the whistleblower complaint line from the DOT, everything. Hey, they fired me because I got hurt on the job. Go file a workman's compensation claim. I mean, don't let companies get away with it. It's the only reason they do stuff, they get away with it. And 14 hours seems like a long day to me, to be honest with you. They changed that law in Oregon in 2016 for small towns, and everybody pretty much does self-service. Oh, all right. I thought you still had full service. All right, so Jersey. I'm going to say it's just Jersey then. Free full-service pumping at the manhole. Oh, that's true. They don't even charge extra for it, which is pretty nice. They give you a lot of services. I mean, the place is really hands-on with people. You come in there, it's just a hands-on kind of place. It's touchy-feely kind of place. Like hugs for everyone. We used to move furniture. A reefer dolly lets one guy move any appliance. Do you think you could get a refrigerator up a flight of stairs and into somebody's house? Some of these fridges are big. And how would you put a stove in that's built into a wall in somebody's house? I mean, maybe you could do it. I don't know. I couldn't imagine trying to carry one of those old 1940 style cast iron refrigerators for a couple of flights of stairs. Right. How are you going to carry my console, 27-inch console Zenith television with a tube in it that weighs 400 pounds? You know, how's that coming up there? Save money, just go in the tank yourself. Hey, there's a sign on some of them, do not pee in here. The new business is called the Hooten Manhole in Blowhart, Kansas. Oh, very nice. I need a picture of that place. I got fired for quitting on my day off. My day off, I quit. I once worked making thermometers at a temp service. Oh, very good, very good. I had a guy go over my head to my boss and tell him I was mean. Oh, my God. I would just have him on blast doing that. You're mean. Did this person have skinny jeans on and a man bun? So, and did they have a merce, which is a man purse now I've seen, which some men call a satchel? No, Merc, it's a satchel. Okay, Brecklin. Whatever. It's a purse. All right, so that's what I tell them. Let's get rid of the purse here. I highly recommend Sonic Chocolate Shake if you're constipated, Chris. I'll keep that in mind for springtime. I only go there in the summer for car shows, usually. There is a drive-through there, though. I think you can, like a regular restaurant. But I'll be there at car shows. There's one a month for anybody in Lafayette that wants to go to them. Free DF. I just can't drink enough of beer. Yeah, well, they sell it at some truck stops. They sell it, so you can just go right inside and buy it for yourself. What? You can't believe it? They sell beer at the truck stop? Yes. Some states cold beer, depending where you live. I've seen it in there. Zenith, the quality went in before the name fell off. Aviator Trucker. My dad always had Zenith TV, so I always bought Zenith televisions for as long as you could get them. You can't get them anymore, as far as I know. Loves coffee or Pilot coffee? I don't drink coffee. I'm not a big coffee drinker. Pilot coffee is always voted the best coffee on the road or something, or at least that's what they write on their tanker trucks. So I don't know if they're full of coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee. I'm kind of into sleeping, so I don't know if everybody drinks coffee to stay awake, but I just get a good night's sleep, and that is the truth. So I sleep until I wake up. That's been my policy for years. I don't set an alarm unless there's some reason I need to get up to make sure I'm up early for something, but for work, I don't set an alarm. So I just sleep. When I wake up, I've had enough sleep. That's how I figure it. You would wake up once you've had enough sleep, and I get up that way. And really no coffee for me. Less than a pot a year. Roger Penske, global warming. It's nice. It's 60 degrees here. So thanks, Al Gore. I appreciate it. Believe me. Wilbon, 1879. Good afternoon, Market Trucking Answers fans. Keep on trucking and to keep the country moving. We're trying to. We're doing our best to keep everything delivered. 12-minute warning. I had to break up with my girlfriend. Every time I hang out with the boys, she called it a mandate. And I went, hey, call it whatever you want. We all need our time by ourselves. That way the time together is so much more special. Roger Bensky, 17C here at the Korean Mafia in Phoenix. That means somewhere in the neighborhood of the mid-40s Fahrenheit. 17, I think, is around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's what we would call it. Right in there, 70, 72. Skinny jeans, man bun, but usually he's a good worker. No retaliation, but we all bust each other at work. Yeah, I mean, okay, well, that's more funny. I mean, look, hair bun, gotta go. I don't even tolerate him on women. Okay, much less men. So get that hair down. And men, come on. Come on now. Total overcast. Yes, I only discriminate against that. Everybody else is fine with me. But you got a man bun, I just can't do it. I can't. That's what kids say, right? I can't. I just can't. Total overcast of Phoenix. It's a yellow sunglass day. Oh, those ones that you get at 2 a.m. Those are classic. Coffee makes me feel a nervous sling blade. Oh, does it? I didn't see that. TJ Jones, the Bull of Wood. See, I don't get to see movies. The last movie I saw at the theater, I think, was Star Trek, when it was the reboot, the first one. Yeah, we saw that at IMAX. I went to Portage, Indiana, to the closest IMAX, and saw it there. So 100 miles to go see Star Trek. That's the last one. When was that? Like 6 years ago or something? 8 years ago? That's the last time I've been to the theater. As they keep expanding the roads wider and wider, the mega carriers have more trucks. They evidently think we're adding more freight lines. Yeah, they just keep putting trucks, but they can't get people for the trucks they have, according to them. Because I keep getting letters from people it's always a mega carrier that does this kind of thing, where somebody gets in there and then it's 3 weeks before they get a truck. Why are you hiring so many people if you do not have a truck for them available? Only hire the people that you're going to put in a truck and make you money. Drivers don't realize the number of hours they worked when they see $250 a day. Yeah, $250 is not super great for hand unloading stuff. All they have to do is divide their pay by the number of hours and take overtime into consideration. Of course, hours over 40 are time and a half. $250 a day, especially if you're doing overtime and doing manual deliveries into people's homes, not super great. And a lot of times you probably have to take the old thing out, so you're taking the fridge back down the stairs or whatever. Waking on your own without an alarm sounds healthy. Kelt Rooster Travels. I think that's what everybody should do. I think if you have to have an alarm every day, I don't think you're sleeping enough. If you can't wake up, I don't think you're sleeping enough. I understand once in a while, I got to be up earlier to do something. All right, I get that. But otherwise, for work, just wake up when you wake up. Kelly, I got I got a problem from a company once for injured and getting workman's compensation, and they used a constructive dismissal. All right, I'd still complain. Anything a company does, make them pay for it. So they do stuff, go complain, go file. It's free. Go file with the state. It doesn't cost anything. Go on the website and file. Here's what happened. They have to answer. The state is going to ask them. They've got to take time to answer. They've got to answer those states' complaints when the government comes to them. Go tell the hammer, here's a picture in case somebody ever sues you, right? Here's, go tell all your friends, post it, do all that stuff. Absolutely. George Wilson, thank you for today, Mark. Well, thank everybody for being here, you and everybody else. If people don't come, there's no today. There's just me. So I appreciate everybody being here, believe me, as we go into 2022. I'm convinced that DEF is nothing more than an extra tax on drivers. And as winter comes, here's what I tell people. Fill it up every day or every time you fuel. That's what I do. I recommend it. There's too many times in the winter when it gets cold that the DEF pump doesn't work. You don't want to be stuck somewhere where now you're stuck in Wyoming or you're stuck in the border going, crossing Donner, and you can't get DEF and you can't continue on. Keep the thing full because these pumps don't work that great on it. It only takes a minute or two to fill the DEF on the truck up. So every time you fuel, now I've heard some companies limit the amount you get, although I can't confirm that. Somebody said that England only lets people get 5 gallons a day of DEF. I don't know if that's true. I can't get any confirmation on it. If that's true, I'd definitely get 5 gallons of it a day or however much I needed to keep the thing full. You can't take showers at the Pilot in Benton Harbor because of the lead in the water. Nice. Nice. Man buns ain't it. That's correct. TJ Jones. I don't get it. Okay, take that off your head. I don't even like them on women. So no buns for the hair. How about that? We just keep those out of there. Some truck stops sell liquor. Yeah, I can't understand it. The last movie I saw in the theater was Galaxy Quest. Wow. It takes longer for you than... wow. There are more homeless panhandlers on every corner than there were beggars at every Walmart. Well, the Salvation Army said they actually had a problem getting people to do it. Probably because they had a little political thing that went on with them. And let me tell you, it only pays minimum wage. They advertise here all the time for it, so it doesn't pay great. And Lafayette now getting unloaded just off 52. How do you even sleep here? The sirens are going off all the time. I don't hear any sirens. So wherever you are, I don't hear sirens. You're way up 52 though by West Lafayette, right? Up somewhere at Tate. I think that's where Tate is, isn't it? You're up north of Greenbush and Union and all that. A new dessert shop called the Pie Hole, Lake Big Mouth, Arizona. The Pie Hole. That's pretty good. Fill your pie hole here. They hire too many because they're not sure how many are going to quit this week. Truckers, that's sad. They're like, we got to hire 10 because 7 of them are going to quit in orientation. Plus, they don't do a full check. I get these all the time too. They bring people in, and then they fire 4 people at orientation. Oh, we found this on your background. They should do that in advance. And some places just tell you to get out. They won't even send you home from orientation when they brought you there and they find something that they should have looked at before they brought you. That's wrong, and that should end. A company should be required to bring you back to wherever they get you from, and any business, any industry, not just trucking. So if they brought you in on their dime, they have to bring you back to wherever you started from. If it's the bus station, a parking lot where you parked your car, wherever it is, they got to get you to that spot. Well, I forgot Kramer's Manzier for men is a brassiere for... Yes, right, the Manzier. I remember that one, right? I hope you all watched the strike last week. I recorded that one and watched it. That was pretty good. I watch it every year, right? Kramer and Costanza's dad, Stiller. I can't remember his name on the show, right? Those two work together on that thing. He's always got some weird thing that he's doing. John Hammond is way too close to Chicago. You could smell it from Hammond. Yeah, I didn't like living there. And so once somebody tried to steal my Ford Fairmont, I left. That's when I got out of that place. At 278 Kelvin, 278K. I don't have my Kelvin conversion chart. I'll have to take your word for that. There's a documentary about truckers talking over truck stop. It's called Maximum Overdrive. Taking over truck stop. Yes, that's true. Clown faces in that one. The best part of waking up is Folgers. I'm going back to bed if that's the best part of waking up. I don't need the coffee to wake me up. I do think that there is a point where you have to say, look, this weird schedule is going to kill me. It's just not going to be good for my life. At some point you got to say, look, I need a regular schedule. I just can't do this. That's why drivers that are, 55 look like they're 100 years old. Some of them that have been doing those weird schedules their whole years. Do not drive in New York State if they pass their concentration camp law. Do they have a concentration camp law in New York State? That'd be something. And boy, if they name it that too. Kelvin does not have degrees. Mohammed Khatan. Hey, Mark, how are you? Hey, what's going on? It's good to see you here today. Finally giving you a chance and got a kitten. At least he's getting along with the 2 dogs. Oh, that's great. Kitten. I try to get an older cat just because they're harder to place. Because like you, people get a kitten easier. So whenever it's time for a cat, we get an adult cat because they're harder to place. Like Gracie was already an adult, so that's how we do that. But hey, I think as long as you rescue him, I'm all for it. If anyone's interested in the new Matrix movie, save your money or go watch the new Spider-Man. I'll take it. I'll take your word for that. TJ Jones wouldn't be interested in either of those. Cash is King Trucking. Don't forget to dip your house. Goodness, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We should wrap the year up with that. Thank you very much. You're all quite kind to the channel, believe me, and I do appreciate it. Kelvin does have degrees. It's all just on a positive scale. Yeah, how else would you read Kelvin? Just got kicked out of Hooters. My shorts are too high. John, I'm sure you might have heard this, although it doesn't have anything to do with trucking. They had a new uniform come out for Hooters, and the shorts were, really short. They showed a picture of them, and some of the waitresses were complaining, and I can say waitresses because I don't know if there's any men that are waiters at Hooters. And even I thought, wow. I mean, the shorts were going to have their own netting on them. I mean, wow. So they made them voluntary instead of mandatory. They were super short. I mean, we all know why everybody's there, of course, for the chicken wings, but geez. Give people at least a little bit of dignity. Furniture Road, Denver mattress. Oh, that's right. That's right down there, down 52, right? Low to mid 60s is 20C is 68. All right, so I'm close. I was close. Okay, right. So it would have been 64. I was close. 70's close. Grafton, no biggie, folks here are nice. All right. No, not an orientation. Their current drivers quitting, so a truck available. Yeah, see, they shouldn't do that, Oh, so they're just waiting. Oh, they go, well, look, so probably we'll have 10 or 12 people quit this week, so we've got a truck, and so we're going to have 12 trucks. So they don't actually have trucks. There are no people are quitting. Wow. What a revolving door way to do business that is. That's terrible. I've heard of the blind leading the blind, but now I've seen the DEF leaking the DEF. Huh. I just got kicked out of IHOP because I asked where all the one-legged waiters. They go to Denny's. Please. It's next door, which here they're across the street. Tell Rooster Travels. Free New Year's stripper glitter at the manhole. Thank you very much. That stuff's hard to get off, by the way. You have to stick duct tape all over yourself. Whew. Thank you. I'm just telling you. Kish got hurt in the wallet. I refuse to sleep on the company-provided prison beds. I spend more time in this truck than in my own house. Pete Ward, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Cut back, especially if you're local. If you're local, I mean, let's cut the hours down. I get on the road, you might as well work as much as possible to make as much money that you can make because you're gone anyway. But holy mackerel, if you're going to go home every day, find something that doesn't keep you away from your house, 20 hours a day or whatever. On the road, yeah, make all the money possible. I get it. I just rescued a one-wing parakeet. Really? That'd be something that they would have at a rescue. I could see that at the Humane Society. That's pretty awesome. I ate at a Hooters of the Mall of America. I didn't notice any of the waitresses wearing the new shorts. Yeah, they did make them voluntary, and that's, believe me, you should go check a video out of them. I'll tell you, I've seen more people wear more to beach than that. I mean, give people some dignity a little bit. Actually, I go to the Hooters for the chicken wings. I take the whole family. It's a family restaurant. It is a family restaurant. Okay, it is. Anybody's welcome to eat there. Kids go there. I hear you. Absolutely. But the new shorts were, I mean, wow. If they had a male Hooters, the men were all wearing the little spandex shorts. That would be called frog guys. Yeah. I cannot imagine some guy in the new shorts, especially. I don't know that there's been any men that are waiters at Hooters, and they certainly wouldn't wear these shorts. I mean, you'd have to be, it just would be a mess. Fun fact at the Pie Hole, in Lake Big Mouth, Arizona. They sell what a ding dong rolling wieners. I couldn't believe it. The bun looked like a banana hammock. Oh my gosh, is this like a real thing? Where'd my pen go? The pie hole. We need to get them on the show. How do they sponsor the show? I'm going to work on something like that. Well, but I'm still going to get a new truck. Oh, that's awesome. At least somebody will. Yeah, for lunch at least. Talking about shorts, that's like 10 pounds of potatoes in a 3-pound bag. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? It was only slightly bigger than a G-string, the new shorts. And so some guy wearing that'd be really something. That's not what you want to see. Be like two poodles fighting each other. Coffee raised your blood pressure. Oh, I think it might be over time. But doesn't it have, they always say it has all these benefits of like, oh, no cancer, whatever. I've heard it about cancer. People who drink 2 cups of coffee a day have less cancer or whatever. I don't know. I don't drink it either way. So it's just not, it's never been my thing really. I don't think the waitresses go to work at Hooters for dignity, do they? I think so. I think it probably pays good and everybody should have some kind of dignity at work or anywhere else. So yeah, absolutely. I get home once a week for 34-hour restart. Pete, yeah, so, okay, well, then on the road, I would say work as much as possible. You're already gone, so, but even if you're in a hotel, you're not home. But I think that once you change and become a local driver, I don't see working 14 plus hours every single day as some kind of change from being on the road. Especially, we have people that commute in here from Illinois. They come here from Illinois. So they're an hour or more away, plus working a 14-hour day. You're only home 7, 8 hours. I just don't see that as a good idea for a local job. Borat would wear it. Oh my God, the Slinkini. What if that be next? That was scary. If he moved the wrong way, that movie would have got an X rating. Tim, where might there be help in education and use Omnitrax? Having a lot of difficulty. I don't know. I bet like anything else, there is a video on YouTube on how to use Omnitrax. I don't have one, but I guarantee you somebody's put a video, probably Omnitrax, on exactly how the thing works. Coffee is the purest form of vitamin C. Caffeine, yeah. People use it to keep up. I get it. I do think sleep is the best way to stay awake. New couple's Hooter-style restaurant is called Monastra. DJ Joe's right. Just joining in, I was loading IPA, Columbia, Georgia. Oh, that's not a bad load. You're going to need it today if you go west. Anyone else go to the strip club for the buffet? Yeah, hey, for $3.95? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's a hair in my... Oh, I'm just not going to have this. What if that parakeet was rescued? I go, well, it's probably not from anybody in here. If that parakeet was rescued, it's either left wing or right wing. I'm glad somebody's rescuing a one-wing parakeet, believe me. There is a small chain on the Gulf Coast called the Whacked Out Wiener. Whacked Out Wiener. I like the way you say West Side. Well, look, I can't help the Sonic. It's the East Side and then West Side. We got to do it like this, right? West Side. I would want to get the heck out of Illinois. Yeah, living in Hammond. When somebody tries to steal your $400 car, like the steering wheel's all peeled back and stuff. I'm like, really? We going to do this here? So I'm like, I just drove around Indiana one day and decided on Lafayette. That's actually how I got here. So I just said, all right, I like this place. I moved into Cambridge Estates at that time, which was an apartment community on the other side of town, and moved in there. And that's how I got down here. I just said, okay, I'm going to live here. So it was pretty, and I still worked up there. I was working in Minooka, Illinois. So I would commute in from Minooka from Hammond. I was 3M then, but I was gone all week. So then I just came down here, and I would commute up there 2.5 hours until I got a job here. So it was 2.5 hours each way, but only once a week, and to Minooka, Illinois. And I continued that until I got a job here. And that's how I moved. That's why I know people can move. Oh, I can't move. You can move. Once the pain of not doing, something is, worse than the pain of doing something, you'll go do something. That's how it works. I haven't been to a strip club for at least 2 decades. That's what I would say, too, on any public forum. Somebody asked me where my mask is, and I tell them I'm using it as a G-string. Then I ask if they want to borrow it. No one's ever asked me, although they are coming back to Meijer. Meijer doesn't require it, but there were probably 20% of the people now in there wearing them. So I guess we're going to start doing that again. Strip clubs and buffets must smell like, I don't know what they smell like. Not sure about that. It's the left wing. I am glad you took that because that's a hard one Most people wouldn't. Here's some cash. You could buy yourself some Hooters booty shorts. Oh, what do I get for wearing those on the channel? Believe me, I wonder if you can buy those off the site. Maybe for charity, I would do that. Thank you very much, by the way. There are some men out there we're picking up in the upper chest to work at Hooters. There's some men out there we're picking up in the upper chest to work at Hooters. Okay, look, I don't know. There could be. I don't think they'd be allowed to discriminate. You certainly couldn't put an ad that said, we're looking for women for a certain job. That's blatant discrimination. So, but you just don't see men in there working. So I don't know how they exactly do that. You know, you're living uptown when they try to steal your $400 car. That's funny stuff, TJ Jones. It's true. I come out and I'm go to put my key in, and there's no steering column. It had been peeled. And they broke everything, but didn't take the car. For some reason, they couldn't get the car started. So I ended up going back in and getting a screwdriver, shoved it in there, and started it. And that's how I started the car from then on. It would start with a screwdriver. The whole thing was peeled. I would take my coil wire in at home. I had the 250 straight 6 in that. Took the coil wire off of it at night and took it in with me. So that even if somebody got in it to start with a screwdriver, it wouldn't start. I have the coil wire. I figure most thieves don't carry a 250 straight 6 coil wire with them. And so that cars used to have a coil, kids. So the coil, if the engine not connected to coil, no sparky spark. So no starty start. So they need that wire, super important. And in the morning, I'll just plug that back in, 2 seconds, right? Bingo. Right from coil and car start. It started with a screwdriver. Never got stopped. I don't even know that it's illegal, and I could prove it's my car. I mean, I couldn't even turn in the insurance with a $500 deductible. The deductible is more than the car costs. So only the insurance because it's the law. Because, so there was no point in even turning anything in. And I got rid of that car. Not long after I got here, I got rid of that car. That car ran really good, by the way. If they want to steal my car, I wouldn't let them, but I also would shoot them over it either. They'll shoot themselves when they try to merge on the freeway. Well, that may be true, right? I didn't know somebody was taken. I just get in the car, and that's how it worked. Moved from Chicago after the blizzard of 79. Don't miss it at all. I'll never miss not commuting into Chicago. I had a number of jobs up there. The king has lots of cash. He's quite generous today, which I appreciate. Do you do the live in your underwear? Do the live in something. I have a shirt on. That's all I'll say. How do we get from crappy trucking ads to Hooters' new shorty shorts? Look, I'm just saying. If I had someone break my old card, steal my Happy Meal. Really? I'd say, you need food? I'll buy you food from McDonald's. You don't have to go break in my car. If you're really hungry, let's go get some food. I'm always willing to buy people food. They just never want food. They want cash. You're like, you hungry? Let's go get some food. Well, I'd rather have the money. Well, I'll buy you food. My underwear gets me home. Never leave home without it. That's what they say on the channel. I want to thank everyone for being here. I also want to say if you wear it, make it a parrot. I should say that before Blue Parrot gets mad at me. Right? Blue Parrot. Always wear a blue parrot. Get something on your head, would you? Please. And we have Fleet Nav was here today. I want to thank them for being here. I appreciate it. You should check out Cash is King Trucking. That good video about lumpers and a lot of other good videos too. So please go check that out. And don't forget about Jay. I always talk about Jay. Jay with Auto Transport Intel. Look, he knows about cars. I don't know anything about cars. What do I know? Nothing. That's what. Talk to Jay about that stuff. He might be at the truck show. Talk to him. I sent him an email. I'm going to see if he's going to come to the truck show. Maybe he can say hello about that. The show covers a wide range of topics. That's true. My brother had a 70s Ford Torino with keyless screwdriver starter option, all-around passenger window, AC at 40. My Fairmont was an old government car, for people that want to know. It had moon hubcaps, steel wheels, and no air conditioning and an AM radio. But it did have radio for us on it. So AM radio with a single speaker in the dashboard, and it worked good. I'd listen to WLS, Larry Lujek, Animal Stories, everything else. Yes, that's true. Strip club buffets smell like overcooked food, loneliness, and desperation. So says my granny, who worked in her 70s till her right hip went out. She worked in a strip club until in her 70s. That's pretty impressive. You know, your grandma probably kept herself in good shape. So that's pretty good. Look, everybody needs a job. And I do think that the shirts that were there were a little bit disturbing. I'm glad they allowed people the dignity to choose. How about that? As we always say on this channel, right? Let's plan a day at Dane Passes Pizzas in Oswego, Illinois, around US 30 and Douglas Road. Yeah, that would be great. I wonder how many people would go, though. I think it'd just be you and me there. Any pizza near Chicago I'm in for, but maybe not that many people coming in the area. So I do have to head out to work, though. I do want to thank Kelterister Travels for being here. John M. was here today. Thank you very much. Let's see. First was Million Miler, and then George H.W. Bush was actually first on my screen. Million Miler was first the other day. Trucker Hershey was here today. T.J. Jones in the Bowl of the Woods was here. John Zablak, which I'm getting better at after quite some time. Finally, right? Flat Highway, thank you for being here. Columbia, George. Let's see, where am I going here? Oh, I already lost my spot. That's great. Al Johns was here. Captain Cleaner Wiener was here today, which is pretty good. Kelly Patterson was here. So thanks for being here today. And let's see, but I'm going to have to head out to my place before they gripe at me. Oh, Mark, why aren't you here at work? Because I'm doing important things. Tim Lindman was here today. Thank you for being here. Oh, Will Bond 1879 was here. Alexandra was here today. Thank you for coming in today. And let's see, we're going to head out. Grafton was here. Roger Penske, thank you for being here. And I'm going to go to see what they're going to do with me. Who knows what? Oh, right, the same thing every day, right? As we head on out and go for the new year. So look for that. Be more videos. If you didn't get home for Christmas and wanted to, please let me know. Otherwise, we are going to head into the warmth. Be safe out there, and we'll see you on the next show.